when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Report After Dark. I am your host for this evening, 7. Will is out on assignment. Josie may be joining us at some point, and I think we're going to have a special guest tonight in the second half of the show. So that means, just like every Thursday, tonight, it is me and the Dick, Dan the Dick Warner. What's up, buddy?
Hello, sir.
You know what I think we need if we're going to do this?
The sunglasses?
Crap, I don't know where my sunglasses are. You would.
Well, what did you mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. See,
a special edition of the Sports Report.
This is why I don't mind. This is why I don't like you people.
Thinking about you at William Morgan.
Yes.
Will.
This
is the first time he's not. What's up, buddy? KW is the third guest. He's going to do it through text. It's going to be a big. There's going to be a lot of delay.
There's going to be a lot of delay.
There's going to be a lot of delay. He's going to like answer a question, and then we're going to get it like 18 seconds later when we're on something else.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It's fantastic. It would be just like watching Undisputed.
Right. skip slow in translation.
Skip slow in translation.
Yep. See.
Oh God. Okay. So, all right. Let's go ahead and kick it off in Hot Take Takedown. All right, man. You got a hot take takedown this week?
Hot take. Aaron Judge is reaching right now for 61. He wants it a little bit too much. It's clear. I mean, his swing. It's not like the dude's not hitting. By the way, let's just make that clear. I mean, he's
still
really
hitting.
Yeah. Oh, he's still getting on base. Like he's 1 for 3 tonight. He struck out, but he's being real reserved at the plate, which is strange. And when he does swing at pitches, he's swinging up a little bit at him, and it seems like he's trying to lift the ball. Clearly, he's trying to get 61.
And I mean, if you look at it, his batting average has fallen back a little bit to 314, which 314 is still fantastic. He's tied for 4th.
No, he's in Major League Baseball, but he's leading the AL.
In Major League Baseball, yeah, but he's but I mean, but when you think about it, like for as far as all of Major League Baseball, Freddie Freeman is hitting 328 this year, like that. Just how stupid that is. Absolutely stupid. 328.
It used to be, dude. It used to be way higher. Like if you're going to win a batting championship in the 90s, you had to hit 340, maybe possibly 350. Like that, really? It was up there. Absolutely, dude. Tony Gwynn hit 360. Like Tony Gwynn hit 360 a couple seasons.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
So like it used to be okay because the batting average has dropped, right? And it's because of A, shifts, B, the 3 outcome player, right? So you got the strike. Like they don't hit for average. Like who was? Oh, it was Barry Bonds last night was saying that a GM of a team told him, or it was either A-Rod or Barry Bonds told him that a GM of a team told him that he would rather have 9 guys that strike out 200 times and hit 30 home runs than hit for average. And
a lot of that did the Yankees last year.
That shit is crazy. Yeah, dude, that's some straight analytics stuff that doesn't make any real sense, honestly, because
it doesn't.
It doesn't make any real sense because, like, yeah, you're gonna get the runs, but like analytics don't look at situational kind of stuff. Like they really don't. Like they do. Yeah. They can factor in all these different things, right? But they can't factor in pressure. You know what I'm saying? No. Like they can't factor in like moment in the game, fan noise. Like they're not factoring that stuff in. Like moment in the game, or like, you know, what you should do to like make your team camaraderie or your team spirit better, like which then would help down the line, right? Because if you're just hitting homers or striking out, because if a dude strikes out in a huge moment, it's way more demoralizing than, you know what I'm saying? Like if a dude like, you know, lines out or something, like, oh, lined out, he almost got a hit, you know, or just strike out. Like there's a big difference in like, you know what I'm saying? Like as the team goes on, just the feel of that is way different. And
it definitely has more of an impact. And a lot of people don't think about the, you know, a lot of these nut sacks that are looking at this from the analytics side don't understand the locker room and the dugout and the dynamic on the field, and how something like a strikeout in a big moment can completely shift the morale of a team that thinks that they're within reach. And so I feel you on that. Like I always get frustrated when teams just go for power. Yes, the Yankees technically made the playoffs last year just going for power, but what did it get them?
And I don't think that was even an analytics thing, though. That was more of like just like a flashy, sexy player thing. Like Joey Gallo. Oh, like Joey Gallo hit 40 home runs, right? And like you want Joey Gallo because he's a power hitter. Like it just didn't work when you put that many of those same guys together. No. And like,
a couple guys like that, you know, like I would say honestly, three guys that are your 3 outcome players.
Probably max,
you know, probably max. But on the outside, these individuals have to be some of the best players in their position to justify that.
Yeah, defensively,
defensively, right? Sorry, defensively, these guys have to be the best player in their position for it to make sense. Because if I get chicks dig the long ball, but goddamn, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Giancarlo. I think the only reason Giancarlo is like he is able to transcend the three outcome thing is because he's clutch. Dude, he's clutch as shit. Like when he's up in big moments, he doesn't really like he actually rises to the moment, and you can tell like he's actually like more locked in. It's weird. It's very strange because you would think he would just be like that all the time, but like he's not. But like he is really clutch. And I think that's the only thing that separates him is like he doesn't strike out in big moments and shit. He really doesn't. And like so that's kind of separates him a little bit. But like the three outcome guys. Thank you.
For me, it's one of the things that I try to think about is, you can have a couple of those three outcome guys. Like they're not bad. Sometimes they're, but you try to get other things out of them. Good in their position defensively, good in the locker room, that clutch gene. You're right. I was as far with Giancarlo, that clutch. Giancarlo has a clutch gene. He may swing like a 12-year-old at Little League for the first time every time he gets up to the plate. He has one of the most awkward swings I've ever seen. No matter what.
Sometimes
there's times it looks like he falls. He swings with the way that he swings sometimes.
Looks like he's on skates. It looks like he's had to play on rollerblades. Is what it looks like.
He does. His
feet move around so much.
And but at the same time, he has that clutch gene.
Yeah.
And that's where the difference is. That's the value of. That's one of those intangibles that it's hard to predict. But there are certain players that it just works. So you don't question it.
And I'd say it's clutch and then like his streakiness, which is a lot of the three outcome guys are streaky. So like they'll just get in these fucking these hills where they'll just these up parts of when they're hot basically where they can carry a fucking team. They're so fucking hot they can carry a team. Like he'll hit 6 homers in 8 games, and it's just like nothing because he'll just get hot and he'll see the ball well and his feet won't be sliding around. There's a lot of guys like that. But also you have to think about with Major League Baseball, they're going to take the shift away. Like the shift is going to be not a thing. Right? So that's going to help averages immensely. And like
you're going to see left-handed hitters go up huge.
Absolutely. And Bonds was talking about last night. He's like, you're now catering to he's like, instead of just making the dudes learn that they can hit it the opposite way, right? He's like, you have to just learn how to hit it the opposite way. He's like, I would have hit 500. He's like, he literally said, I would have hit 500 if they would have been shifting on me because all I would have done is bunt the opposite way. He's like, I just would have bunted. He's like, I would have bunted to the right side if they're going to pull on me. He's like, I got a bunt to the right side. And he's like, I'd have hit 500. He goes, I would have got like 50 hits a year just from bunting to the other side. And he's like, just figure out how to do it. He's like,
Rafi Devers does it.
Yeah, and we're bailing them out by taking the shift away because now it's like, oh well, just because they can't hit it the opposite way, we got to fucking take it away. It's like, all right, whatever.
I've said it multiple times on this show and the winter meetings. I am not a fan of banning the shift. I think you just have to tell hitters, work on hitting oppo, buddy. That's the way it works. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Yes.
That was something that I had to work on when I played baseball.
Yes.
Was hitting opposite field.
I mean, and like, I'm not going to.
You got to be able to find the holes. It's not.
I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not hard though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say,
yes.
Hitting to all fields is not fucking. It's very, very difficult to figure out how to do that. But like at the same time, these guys are professional athletes. That's why you're at the top of your game is because you're going to have to adjust to that shit. I don't care if you could put all 9 guys on the right side. You know what I'm saying? Like if I just hit it the opposite way. Like that's really what it is. Like you just have to figure out how to do it. And like, but baseball doesn't want to go through that transitional period though. They don't want to go through that.
And here's the thing. This is one of those things where it's the fault of baseball for this because the reason why the shift works is the lack of emphasis on opposite direction hitting. A lot of hitters have to work on that anyway. For the style that they hit. It's about finding the gaps and making contact before it's about going for the long ball. But if all you want to do is go for the long ball, I don't like somebody that's just a power hitter because there is more risk of putting your team in danger. Yes, the long ball is great. But I helped my team win games without ever hitting a home run.
Absolutely. I mean, that's like, dude, Derek Jeter hit like 190 home runs in his career. That might be. I'm just ballparking it. No pun intended.
No. Like, I don't think he broke. Who was it? There was somebody that was saying, may have been Joey Gallo, or no, not Joey Gallo. Yeah, maybe it was Joey Gallo or somebody who was like, I've hit 190 home runs and I'm 37 years old. So I'll break seven. You know, talking about Pujols hitting 700. I'll break 700 when I'm about 165.
Yeah. Well, not Gallo, because Gallo hit fucking 190 home runs in like 4 years, but he also hit like 212.
It wasn't Gallo. It was maybe it was Joey Votto. But I don't think it was Joey Votto either. It was somebody.
I think Votto's kind of like, yeah.
But I thought that was interesting. But yeah, no, I'm with you, man. Judge needs to take a step back, take a breather, and I predicted Boston was going to refuse to give him that run. He was not going to get that against Boston.
Well, last night, I mean, you did, you called it. I mean, and did you see him last night? They DH'd him, and like I don't think that Boone thought about that before he did it, because they were treating him like he was pitching a perfect game in the dugout. Like he was clearly just like sitting on the bench away from all the rest of the dudes while he was DHing while they were in the field. And it was weird. It just made it weird. Like, oh, every at bat's a big deal because you're not playing the field, you know? Like it was just a weird thing. Like, I was like, don't DH him. Just let him play the fucking field. Like, I get what you're doing. I get what you're doing on paper, Boone, but like you didn't think that through, because it looks like now that every at bat's such a fucking huge deal because he's not even playing the field now. So like all he's doing is batting 3 or 4 times.
Oh, here we go. Hey, Stacks himself is joining us. What's up, buddy?
What's up, dog?
What's going on, fellas?
No, but you're right though. Like, it's breaking into college games to show Aaron Judge's at bats. Like, I'm as much as I want. I mean, we know Aaron Judge is going to break 60, hit 61 at some point. Like, it's gonna happen. But at the same time, there's so much emphasis on this. It's absolutely ridiculous. There was a guy at the Blue Jays game today that bought an entire section in the area where it was most likely for Aaron Judge to hit a home run, like in that general direction.
Yeah.
An entire section. And there was an auction house that said they would pay $2 million for that ball.
It's already been bought if somebody catches it. I mean, that's a low estimate too. I mean, if somebody already put a number on it, you could get more than $2 million, which is fucking craziness. But it was for 61 or was it for 62? Because wouldn't 62 be that'd be the money ball, right? I mean,
well, 60 ties a couple of guys, and I think it ties somebody, but I think 61 is the record.
61 is the record right now, but 62 would be the break. 62 would be the breaker. That's the record.
Yeah, no, you're right. 62 is the one that they said they would pay $2 million for.
He's going for 61 right now. He's on 60. He's going for 61. So, and he might get up here because it is top 10 in the Blue Jays Yankees game, and they are. They're on their number 7.
Running? I thought they were done.
Yeah, they're on their number 7 hitter. It's tied at 2. So they're on number 7 hitter. So this is possible that he gets up in this inning. And I'll keep you updated on that out of my right eye here.
Okay. For those of you that are watching for those of you that are missing Monday Night Football because you wanted to watch something that was entertaining and sports related, the Cowboys are losing 13-6 right now to the Giants. Shaq Bartley scored as like a 20-yard run.
I love Saquon's, bro. Saquon's is my boy, and he got a lot of shit. Like he might be one of those David Boston cases, Tony, where he's like, he's just too stacked for his own tendons, for real. Like he had too many fucking muscles. Jesus, man, Dallas cannot go anywhere. But no, I honestly, I think you're right. Okay, so my hot take that I want to talk about. And this pissed me off because I saw this yesterday, and if I met this person in person, I would slap them in the fucking face. So there was a Chiefs fan, I'm gonna call them the lower part of our fan base, if you will, because they were talking shit to a friend of mine who's a Bucs fan. Okay, and they said that the Bucs losing to the Packers was worse than Kansas City losing to Indy. That's just bias.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's just fan bias.
And my comment, I seriously, my comment was, what game did you fucking watch, bro?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Two of the greatest quarterbacks of a generation with depleted receiver cores and stout defenses versus Patrick Mahomes, who should have had a 10-point lead per Vegas and should have put at least 350 to 400 in passing yards up on Indy, and they didn't even get to. They scored 16 points
against 80-year-old Matt Ryan.
Against Matt Ryan, who could not change a protection at the offensive line to save his fucking life yesterday. Are you serious, bro? No, the KC loss was worse. I know we're going to talk about that in the huddle, but like, really? Come on, Chiefs fans, don't be a dick about this. We lost yesterday, and no, it was not. Yes, Chris Jones comments, whatever he said to whoever that was he was talking to on the field, where he got that unsportsmanlike penalty right there near the end that gave the Colts the chances to go down and score a touchdown. Yes, that hurt. But what really hurt was special teams yesterday, Chiefs fans. If Harrison Butker is the Chiefs kicker yesterday, we win that game. Guaranteed.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
They don't miss any of those field goals or extra points.
Against Matt, I'll balance your checkbook, Ryan.
I don't get it.
He looks like an accountant.
Like that's just that level of stupidity and bias just pisses me off. Okay.
They're just trying to be dicks. They're not trying to be dicks. They just are dicks.
Yes.
They like just don't understand. Like they don't understand sports. If you really think that, you don't understand football. For one,
Absolutely. You
just don't get it. I'm assuming that person clearly probably did understand football, but didn't actually get like they understood it, but they just like didn't want to admit that like that's a really bad loss to Indianapolis. It's a bad loss.
It was a bad loss. Like I don't understand. Like I don't understand that level of bias. Just maybe I'm too objective for my own fucking good, but I didn't get it. Okay. All right. So we're gonna dive into the rest of the MLB. Give me a second here. Okay.
Plus, on that account, you're also looking at like a Chiefs fan who probably hates Tom Brady. And is just thinking that like since Tom Brady is like apparently God to all these football fans, like which obviously he probably should be on some kind of pedestal, clearly. But like they just think that like everyone loves Tom Brady, so he shouldn't lose in any situation ever. He should just not ever lose. It's like, and I get it that in Super Bowls he doesn't lose, bro, but like he's gonna lose sometimes. Like sometimes he does.
He's gonna lose sometimes.
Yeah. He deserved that.
Cowboys.
Oh. He deserved, my bad. He deserved to lose that game just because of the shirt he was wearing yesterday pregame.
What was it?
It was, what did it say? It's like, I can't remember. I'll look it up, but it was.
Save it for the huddle. We'll talk about it.
I'll save that. Yeah, for sure. Anyway.
Okay. All right. So let's talk some baseball.
I want to be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money.
And of course, as we open the seventh inning stretch, I do want to give a thank you to the sponsor for the seventh inning stretch, Gunslinger Soap. Gunslinger Soap is handmade soaps and beard products made without all of the junk to pamper your skin. You can go to their website, gunslingersoap.com, and sign up to get 15% off of your first order and always free shipping over $30. That's gunslingersoap.com. Definitely check them out. We've been talking about MLB already today, man. Aaron Judge
coming to the plate right now.
Fighting for 600. Oh, he is coming to the plate? Okay.
Top of the 10th inning. He's coming to the plate right now. I'll keep you guys updated. We'll keep going.
But we've also had some stuff. Albert Pujols hit number 700 in LA. I actually predicted a couple of weeks ago that was when it was going to happen. So I'm starting to get that sixth sense, my friend. I think it's happening. Skip Bayless would be proud. I'm already more right than he is, so I think I've got something going for me.
Like right politically, because that's not possible.
No, I don't hate black people or Jews near that much. No,
wow. It's because he's an alien.
It's because he's an alien. Yeah,
he doesn't understand
what it is. But no, I am. I'm very happy for Albert. I'm glad that it happened. I predicted it was going to be against the Dodgers. That's just too storybook for it to not happen. He had 699 and 700. in one game. Congratulations to him. Judge needs to just, get it out of the way.
They're
Maybe
switching pitchers. They just do ridiculous shit for him now. So like they switch out all the balls. Every ball that they use now is a fucking 61st home run ball. So he has to wait for that bullshit. Like they make it like a fucking like it's like a queen's coronation at this point. Like every time he comes to the fucking plate, it's like can we just make this normal for him? Like just make it like a normal
for the judge. I mean, that's all you can do, man.
Yeah, like that's it. It's real.
There's
weird,
people that forget about how crazy it was. Like in the McGuire and Sosa home run years, they would interrupt the evening news. Oh, hey, Sammy Sosa's up to bat. Mark McGuire's up to bat. We're going to pull you guys in. It was all over everything. It was like if the president was on. And that was just the way that it was.
Tony, do you think it's going to, I mean, I'm hoping it goes to after he hits 62, I'm hoping that it cools off to the point where, but everyone after that is still a big deal. Cause that could be the last one. So you would want the AL 66th or whatever. Right. So like, that's still a big deal, but like, hopefully it cools down to the point where they're not going to stop shit. And like, they're still gonna be switching balls out and stuff on him for the rest of the year and for the rest of the regular season, which is fine. But like, then
they don't have a choice.
Yeah. So he's up right now. They just switched out pitchers. They got a guy warming up on the mound right now. They're just making it weird for him. And like, I think they're doing it on purpose at this point. Like, I think that the Blue Jays manager is probably like, oh, let's make it fucking weird. And like, they just put in a lefty against him, which is weird.
Equalizers. Yeah. Tim Meza. Yep. Yeah.
And they're letting him get, but they're letting him get a long fucking look at Meza too, like while he's like standing, like he's in the batter's circle, which is probably not a great idea. But yeah, he's got 2 runners on base, top 10,
2 outs.
2 out, tie game. Obviously, it's top of the 10th.
But no,
they walked him.
Oh, they just intentionally walked him. Yep.
Yeah, base is loaded.
Wow. I bet. I mean, do you think there's Blue Jays fans booing?
No.
Yankees fans just getting a laugh out of it.
Oh yeah. Thank you. I mean, that's fine with me. You're gonna face Rizzo. Great. I don't give a fuck. I don't like Rizzo's such good protection. Like Rizzo's such good protection, dude. Like, and that's the thing. If they were losing, that's thank you, Tony, for bringing that up. If they were losing these games, they've won like 5 in a row at this point. But like, if they were losing these games and this was happening, I'd be actually pissed off about it. I'm not even mad. Like, I'm like, he's got 10 games left after this. He's gonna fucking hit 62. There's no, I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah. So like, I'm just worried about like they're just winning games while this is happening the whole time. Their magic number's 1 or 2 at this point. Like they're almost, they basically are. They're basically a lock for. They're gonna be the second seed. They're gonna be the 2
and then we also saw the Guardians clinch their first AL Central title since 2018.
That's
first title. I had more faith in the Twins to hold out for that division. I figured it was going to be the Twins, but they really underperformed after the All-Star break. And I feel like that was and of course the White Sox are still hanging around in that division, and I don't get how. Like, it's kind of like, they won't go away, just like Tony La Russa. Like, just fucking just die. Just die.
Just die.
The season. Let me clarify.
The
season.
Sorry.
I'm not, because I know, he's been having health issues and I don't want to get canceled. So that is not what I meant. The season for them needs to just die. But I think Tony La Russa is an asshole, but I don't wish bad health on anybody. I'm not that kind of person.
No way.
I am not
Tony. No way, Tony. Did Gary Sanchez and Carlos Correa shy away from the spotlight?
No. Never.
Oh wow. Yep. All right.
But and then we also saw the announcement yesterday that Don Mattingly will not return as the Marlins manager for 2023.
The old Don. Hey, I'm mad he doesn't rock that stash anymore. I really am. That was like my main thing.
I wonder if that was a Marlins thing. Because some of their players have mustaches, don't they?
They can have, Marlins. The Yankees are the only team like in professional sports that like does anything with like the facial hair shit. It's so stupid. I wish they would. I love dudes. Is there? I love dudes with like the big beards and shit.
Yeah, there's a few teams that don't allow it. Like I think with the Twins, you can only have a mustache. You can't have.
That was a George Steinbrenner thing. That was just George. So like, how
I don't know. There's
kept it going. It's fucking stupid though.
Yeah, it's I don't get it. I think it's one of the dumbest things in baseball is let these guys, like, I just feel bad for them, man. Like allow.
So many professions do it though. I mean, think about like servers at restaurants, bartenders and stuff. They restrict a lot of stuff that people would do with like you can't have like outrageous piercings and like all that kind of shit.
There's outrageous piercings and situations where you're serving food being limited on how your hair is styled and stuff like that because you're trying to keep hair from getting into the food. That's reasonable. Whether or not you have a beard does not hamper your ability to play baseball. Damn it.
It might. You might pull the old Anthony Simons or whatever, where he had the thing on top of his head where it was like getting in his way. He literally like lost control of the ball a couple times because his hair was like flopping in front of his face, and they made him cut his hair because it was like a big it was like a mohawk fro, and he was dribbling and
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was like a couple of years ago. He was bouncing in front of his face and stuff. Like it was clear in video that he was like losing the ball because his hair would literally hit him in the face. Like he would like do like a stop and his hair would literally like go forward.
That's just.
And it's one of those big black dude like mohawk fros.
I respect people doing their own hairstyles and what they want to do. It's one of the reasons I'm a big supporter. There's so many cultures where that matters. As far as your hairstyle, facial hair, stuff like that. So I respect all of it. Like it doesn't harm me for somebody to have facial hair. Or a guy to have long hair, like it doesn't harm me as long as they take care of it. But at the same time, it pisses me off when places make a big deal out of it. Like it needs to be functional because this is a modern society. We have things we have to get done. That part makes sense. Yeah. But outside of that, like there are ways to do functional hairstyles with dreads and long hair down to your back. There are ways to do it. You just have to also put the work in and take care of it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. You can even just go in there and just pull it back. Just pull it back.
Yeah.
And then when you get out of work, you can just fucking let it loose, man. Just let it loose.
And then let me see. There was one other thing. Canada dropped the vax mandate for athletes and visitors. So Canadian government confirmed Monday that non-citizens entering the country, including professional athletes, will no longer be required to be vaccinated against COVID-19 beginning in October. So pretty soon we should be able to take a road trip up to go get some poutine.
Can we please stop telling people that they're going to die from fucking COVID?
Well, no, and here's the thing. There is a risk of death from COVID. It does happen.
Yes, but come on.
I also think that the initial handling of that was not very responsible. There was a lot of misinformation, and the government was unwilling to just go, look, we don't fucking know yet. We got to figure some shit out. Just stay safe while we work on this. Give us some time. It doesn't happen overnight. That would have been a more responsible answer than, oh, it's this. Now it's this. Now it's this. Oh, this is fucked up. Don't do this. There would be so much more consistency with the information and the education. If the government had just said, hey, we're not going to lie to you. We don't fucking know what's going on yet. Give us a minute.
Right. Because they had to have an answer. Everyone was like, we got to have an answer. And they're like, I don't have an answer. And they just,
we'll give you an answer.
We got to have an answer. Like, okay, we'll give you the answer. Just give me the wrong one.
Yeah.
Here's what we know.
It was so responsible.
My thing is like, obviously COVID's real. Like it's a real thing, right? Everybody, it's like a real thing. So don't say it's not real, but at the same time, like it was clearly just made by the government to kill fat and old people. No, I'm just kidding. But
God damn it.
I mean, that's not really what I think.
Man, you're gonna get called by HR. You keep saying this shit.
What? There's no HR. Josie, where are you at? Josie, you're back in the background somewhere. He's weird. Where's he at? Right.
Actually, Josie has
our HR guys watching. Our HR guys watching from the shadows. That's a good start for our HR guy.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah. Nope. That's Israel. He's watching from the shadows.
Yeah. Israel's gonna be the one to tell on us. But yeah, so that will be interesting. teams that grab players thinking they were going to have to worry about facing Toronto and needing a vax mandate met. It's Andrew. Now the Yankees aren't as sad about the fact that they lost Andrew Benintendi, because one of the sole reasons they grabbed him from the Royals was because they wanted to have him for going and get for Toronto, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll go get vaxxed." Well, now it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he's now Benintendi is like, damn. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure he's not. Damn, can't play for the Royals anymore. Oh boy.
I don't have to play. And then, that's right. Dayton Moore got fired too.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Dayton Moore got fired by the Kansas City Royals. That was announced. I think that was last week on Tuesday. That was one of the first things that happened after last week's episode.
The first thing I thought when I heard that?
Mm-hmm.
First thing I thought when I heard that was, how there's like wartime presidents and there's non-wartime presidents. Dayton Moore was a wartime president in peacetime. For the Royals, it's like the closest comparison I make to it. Like, he was the guy who, like, they wanted a championship with what they had, right? And they thought that they could get it. And Dayton Moore was the perfect guy to do that. Like, Dayton Moore brought all those guys up. He brought up Hosmer. He brought up Salvi and all those guys. Like, he built that from the ground up. Wartime. Like, they wanted to win a title, and he got it fucking done, right? So Dayton Moore is a fucking legend. He always should be in Kansas City. Like, anybody who fucking said that he got fired for any other reason than that they're rebuilding and that they're gonna keep rebuilding, because they know in the next couple of years they're not gonna like Bobby Witt Jr. is great. Like, he's like, some of their prospects are fucking crazy good. Like, they're always awesome. But that ownership knows that they're not gonna spend any money on it. They just know. They're like, I'm not spending fucking money on these guys.
The Royals consistently have one of the top ranked farm systems in baseball. Like, they are good with prospects. But one of the reasons we always see the Royals not in the postseason is because most of the time they get rid of those good prospects when it's time to put money into bank account. So we're probably going to see Bobby Witt Jr. in a uniform for another team in the next 2 years. He's the type of guy I could see Boston grabbing him, depending on how things work out. I could see the Mets grabbing him. I could see the Braves grabbing him. Be a few different teams that would probably like his skill set. And they'll get future draft picks and compensation out of it, which is what they live for. But I don't think we see the Royals make another big push until the new stadium gets built.
I was gonna say, like, at what point do you just keep rebuilding? Like, we've talked about this on the show before. Like, at what point do you just keep rebuilding and keep like stocking up draft picks and not ever making them into anything? Like, Dayton Moore was like there to make them into something that could actually win on a pro level. Like, yeah, but like even in baseball, it's even more. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like, no pun intended, but it's even more like it's I don't remember the Dayton when they did that, but like Jesus Christ, it's really falling apart.
Yes, KW.
Really?
Keep going.
But yeah, like at what point do you not rebuild anymore? Like, at what point do you go, hey, we got a pretty good couple of guys here, like some good prospects. Maybe we should like pay a couple of them and try and win some fucking games. Like, you just can't keep replenishing. Like, in baseball, it's so much different because you can sit there and stockpile not just draft picks. Like, the Jets stockpile draft picks because they're fucking terrible all the time. And like, the Royals do that too. But like, draft positions don't matter that much in Major League Baseball. Like, they do not. Like, the position doesn't matter. Like the development and like the trades and everything matter a ton. Trading for prospects matters a ton. And like, at what point do you just go, okay, all right, we're gonna go now. Like, we're gonna try at it. Like, and Dayton Moore actually was able to pull that off, and that's why he's a fucking legend. He should be a legend in Kansas City. Like, you guys should fucking love that dude.
What do you think, Haystacks?
Drinks for free for Dayton for life. So that's what I said. Kansas City, yes, sir. It was unfortunate because, like you guys said, their farm system was always hopping with guys over there. So, and it's true. It's like, at what point do you stop rebuilding? But when you don't want to spend, what else are you going to do? Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's well said. I mean, what do you like? Is Glass still the majority owner? Is David Glass still the majority owner?
No,
he's
it's John
not.
Sherman now.
Okay. What I mean, like, dude, this shit. Me and Tony have talked about this before, Wade. This shit pisses me off with the owners. Like, if you're not gonna fucking try, then why are you an owner of a professional baseball team? Like, if you're not gonna try, then fucking go away. Like,
what
let
about
somebody,
any owner in baseball or any owner in sports? Period.
ever, yes,
ever,
anybody.
Really.
Like if you're gonna own a professional franchise, fucking try. Like, have your fucking head in the fucking game. Stop making it about investment opportunities, because that is ruining a lot of this right now. Like, this is fucking shit up, especially in Major League Baseball, because there's no salary cap, right?
Correct.
So like with the no salary cap in the MLB, like especially, but any sports franchise, but like in Major League Baseball, it's fucking it up real bad, because like these guys can just sit at the bottom of the fucking barrel. The Oakland Athletics have been doing it for 30 fucking years.
Yep.
Just down there, just like, oh yeah, well, we're just making money selling hot dogs. And it's like, fuck you guys. Like, try, because it's ruining integrity is what it's doing. Because like, think about that 4-game series at the Athletics. Like, if you want to get right, play the Oakland A's. Like, that's not a good thing. Like you shouldn't get 3 wins guaranteed because you're playing a shitty fucking team because their owner's a piece of shit and doesn't want to pay anybody. Like, if you're going to own a major league team, there's only 30 of them, and there's plenty of fucking rich people that would gladly take your fucking job. Gladly. Yeah. They would gladly take your fucking job. Like, they would care about it. Like, they would actually care what they're doing. So like, if it's not going to be one of your main things, or you're not going to hire somebody who it is their main thing, and you're not going to spend the money to do it, then get the fuck out of ownership. Get out. We don't want you. We don't want you here if you're not going to fucking concentrate on what you're doing. That's it.
No, and you're an accurate thing, because it's, you know, sports is such an emotional part of things for sports fans. And when you think about the city of Detroit is a prime example. That city has been decimated by the loss of the jobs in the automotive industry, completely destroyed. And for those of you that aren't aware of how bad the situation is, I'm not just talking Flint, okay? For those of you that don't know, I'm an insurance agent during the day. I sell home insurance policies and renters insurance policies. That's all I do for a national company. And I regularly talk to people that live in Detroit, in Detroit. And if I have somebody that calls me and it's a Detroit zip code, what I am expecting to see, and I don't always see it, but what I am expecting to see is a 1,200 square foot house for under $50,000. That's how bad the economy is there, that a livable, functional 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot home that you would think of as like a cookie cutter situation might need to be updated, built in the mid 70s to 80s, but not in bad shape. Less than 50 grand.
That's crazy. That's $200,000 anywhere else. At least. Exactly.
That's a $350,000 house here in Phoenix.
Yeah. And it is all about surroundings though too.
But the other thing that you have to see is that every sports team in that city, minus, we'll say, the Pistons, try to stay somewhat competitive.
Used to.
All of the sports teams in that city, the Tigers aren't worth a shit anymore. The Lions haven't had a winning season in over a decade.
Yeah.
The Pistons, the last time they were really relevant was 2004?
Hey, they're about to be good though. They're going to be good.
Yeah, their roster looks pretty good. They could make some noise next year, but
they're going to be competitive
for a year.
Barring injuries,
I like Cade Cunningham though, for sure. I mean, really though, they're going to be good.
Cade's a stud.
Yeah, he's a stud.
But the damage that it does to the psyche, because cities, even if they're fair weather fans, cities like to support a winning sports team. And a sports team is supposed to be just a printing press for money. Well, sports teams that do better typically see a spike in revenue. Sports teams that do consistently better see a normal permanent increase in revenue. 10 years ago, you could not give away Chiefs tickets for $120 that were $125 for lower bowl on the 50-yard line. Now, if you get a Chiefs ticket for $125, it's a fake.
Yeah.
And Kansas City is supposed to be a small market team. You know how much money is going into Clark Hunt's pocket for that? How much money Gracie Hunt has to go do beauty competitions?
That's what I don't get about it. Is like, are you looking at it in like such a long-term thing that you're like, okay, if we just make this consistent low, like if we just make the consistent low profit, it's worth more than like us getting good and making like a lot of money really quickly and increasing it. I don't understand where that even comes from. Because if you're printing money from it, but it's just like a low profit and you're always shitty, like I don't understand why that's even what.
CeeDee Lamb caught a pass.
CeeDee Lamb?
CeeDee Lamb caught a pass. And it was a touchdown.
Seedy. That's a little bit seedy. It seems seedy. That seems a little bit seedy.
Oh, and hey, that put the Cowboys up 19-13.
Oh, by the way, Vlad Guerrero Jr. walk off, bottom of the 10.
Oh, he did.
Saw that. Yes.
Yeah, single to left. It's all right.
But
hey, where are you going to be, Toronto? I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Fucking Vlad Jr. was fucking celebrating like he just won the fucking World Series. Walking off the field, they poured a fucking Gatorade vat on him and shit. Like he was like, "This is my house. This is my house, motherfucker." Really? You won one fucking game in Toronto. Like, what place are you even in? Get the fuck out of here with your dreads and jogging to first base, bro. Like, act like you've been there.
They haven't.
Nice, dude. You haven't been anywhere, Vlad Guerrero Jr.
They can't act like they've been there. They haven't.
Hey, I'm about to say this, Vlad Guerrero Jr. I want you on the fucking show, bro. Your dad was way better than you will ever fucking imagine to be. Your dad was way better than you will ever imagine to be, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Don't fucking, it's my fucking house. You didn't do anything, dude. It's your house because you're in Canada. You're the only fucking Major League Baseball team up there. So shut the fuck up, dude. Unbelievable with this guy. Sorry.
This fucking guy. No, that's okay.
Sour grapes, Daniel. Sour grapes.
He's a little, for those of you, the other baseball.
I just want to let you guys know.
Right now, Baltimore Orioles and Boston Red Sox. Baltimore is up 8-5 in the middle of the 5th. That game is on ESPN Plus and MLB.TV. Man, Boston fucking fell apart, man.
I was gonna say, how's Boston doing this year, Tony? They doing all right?
It's not great. It is not a great time to be a Boston Red Sox fan, right? It's not really a good time to be a Boston sports fan after what happened to the Patriots yesterday too.
Boston better get themselves a dehumidifier because they're in the fucking basement.
And here's the thing. I think that loss. We'll talk about this more when we get into the NBA here in a second. But I think that Ime Udoka loss is going to really hurt Boston more than people think. And I have a feeling I don't think Boston makes the playoffs this season.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm glad they just got a stranglehold on their coaching situation. I really am. They got a good grip on it, and it's
hopefully they don't choke.
They can't choke this one away. They really can't.
They can't.
That decision seemed. That's I don't.
This guy
I hate
cheated on his wife. We're going to suspend him for a year and put a guy that gets drunk and beats chicks in as a coach because that's a better example.
It seems like abuse to Boston fans. It really does.
Boston fans have to go through enough. They can't say ours. They have to have black people in the city. They can't say the N-word too. It's hard to be a Boston.
It's hard to be a Boston fan. Yeah. Well, no, they can. They just yell it from the stands, faceless from the stands. As long as nobody sees them, they're fine.
And they're not close enough for LeBron to come in the stands.
It's like Utah.
and at their 27-inch Zenith box TVs inside their brick apartments, like down their streets that are like their streets that are like the size of two actual cars. Like you have to actually just go on the
cobblestone.
Yeah,
cobblestone.
They're made out of actual cobblestones. Like
cobblestone.
Guys, there's a cobblestone street in Fall City. It's like the second main street, right? But that's only 3,000, 4,000 people, bro. This is a town of fucking 7. It's like 3.5 million people.
Cobblestone streets in St. Joe.
But those are like, I mean, those are
but those like side streets, like
they're not like
neighborhood. They're not
regularly used. These are like actual residential areas in Boston. They're like you have to like drive on the curb to get around. Everybody's like fucking yelling, "Hey!"
Okay, all right. So let's dive into the hardwood. Media day in the NBA as training camps are starting. What do you got for us, Dick?
Dude, apparently, and this shows you how fucking I mean, the Brooklyn Nets media day was clearly the most interesting one. Okay.
Oh God.
So Durant and those guys, like they came up there and clearly just like tried to be very like, 100%, lots of effort, down the line, and it just wasn't coming off like that. They like these guys clearly just don't think they need a coach. It's basically what, like, they don't think they need a coach, for one.
Which is, you're not going to win with a team like that. You can't.
I don't know if they do, though. Like, I honestly don't know if they do. Like, are you going to win a title without a fucking coach? Fuck no. You're not.
And that's the problem. Like, that lineup, if you have players that are willing to work with their coach, yes, it's Steve Nash, and I have been a vocal critic of Steve Nash, so I will take ownership on that. But if you are not going to work with the coach you have, you are not going to get it done. Because especially with those egos, now Ben Simmons will be less of a personality than KD and Kyrie, but those two nutsacks can't decide who's in charge.
Did you watch any of that?
The press conference today. No, I caught bits and pieces of clips. So, yeah.
What did you see?
Yeah. So one of the things I saw was when they asked Durant if he was surprised he's still here in Brooklyn, and he said, well, I mean, I'm the best in the world, and I know you need a lot for me, so no, it's not really surprising. I mean, you got to sell the farm to get me, so I understand it. So that's why I'm still here.
Yeah, that was all it was. That was all it was.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
That was
his
Skip Bayless predicted that back when he asked for the trade.
He did.
Everybody was saying that Skip was out of his mind. KD himself was saying, nah, to hell with that, and to hell with you. But Skip Bayless predicted that.
Well, I mean, it's not that hard to predict. That's the thing. Like,
no, it's not.
So when they come out and when Kevin Durant comes out and requests a trade, everybody immediately thinks he's gonna get traded, right? There's no other, like, it's almost like there's no other option to, like, he requests a trade, he's not gonna play if they don't trade him. But like, the Nets have one of the first teams that have literally just went, we don't actually have to trade you.
Screw you. We're gonna do what's best for us, right?
Yeah, we can request. You can request it all day, and you can be unhappy here, but we don't fucking give a shit. Like, you're gonna stay. So that's the weird part about this whole thing is, like, they're one of the, because a lot of other places have literally just caves to the fact that they think that since their star is not going to be happy being there, since they requested a trade, right, that they'll take less than value to get him out of there, because they don't think that, like, in the end that he's still going to play. Kevin Durant's going to fucking play still, bro. He's still going to play. He's still going to play. Like, that's what I think a lot of people don't get about it. It's like this perception thing, like, where the teams are like, oh, we have to trade him now. We have to take less value. The Nets were like, fuck that. They're like, fuck that. We're not. You can fucking not like it here as much as you want, right? But
and especially at his age, what's he going to do? Retire? He can't just say, I'm going to retire this year and come back next year and go wherever he wants. No, they still keep the rights to him coming back.
Yeah, he's still under contract.
Even if he fills out retirement paperwork, he's still under contract with the Nets. And so
it's a real case of like standing, like, sticking to your guns, like, to the end. Like, they were just being stubborn to the end of it, and like, they literally, the chicken fight, the Nets won. The Nets just won the chicken fight.
They won. Yep.
Imagine that, winning a chicken fight with Kevin Durant.
What did you see on the Suns media day?
I didn't see anything on the Suns. What happened?
I have a feeling the Sarver thing is going to be more of a distraction than people realize. I'm the Suns. I know I said earlier, I don't know about the Celtics with the Iron thing. I'm not sure the Suns make the splash this year that people think they do, unless they get themselves under control. I get why you would be happy as a person of color with what Robert Sarver said. I get it. I'm not speaking out against it. Or as far as, somebody feeling a certain way about it, I get that. But the truth of the matter is, if these guys don't have the ability, because of how they feel about it, to put that in the back and get on the court and play some damn good basketball, that they're capable of, I don't think we see. I was talking to a friend. He said maybe, he was saying optimistically 56 wins this year for the Suns. I think that's the top end at this point. Honestly, I think it's more like 52, 53.
That team lacks an alpha. Tony.
Mm-hmm.
It's
not Chris Paul.
Chris Paul likes to think that he is, but he's like that's what everybody on there knows. Like if I know that, they all know that. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a way better to look at it than I do.
He's a habitual vice president. He is not the leader. He is the mouthpiece. And there's a difference because and when you think about it, in most organizations, and I know that in our government it may not be this way, but in most regular organizations, the president is the face. The vice president is the mouthpiece.
Right.
Chris Paul is the mouthpiece. Now, of course, with the Suns, you could argue that Devin Booker is the face, but Devin Booker is not the leader on that team.
Devin Booker is definitely the face. He's like the face. He's
the face. 1000%.
He's the face, but he's not the leader.
Yeah.
And I think I think that's one of the problems.
And then you have situations like LA where LeBron's the dictator.
LeBron's everything.
Like he's the face and the vice president. He just took over all positions. He was
he's the owner, GM, you name it.
Yes, and like Bronny and fucking Bryce are like our vice president, and like he's just Trump. He's just running in his family into the. But like, it's just With Devin Booker needs to fucking punch somebody in the face. Is what needs to happen. Devin Booker needs to get in an NBA game next year. And he needs to like punch one of his teammates or punch like another player in the face, like in real life, get suspended a couple of games and like show somebody that Devin Booker has some fucking dog in him. Because right now I see talent out the asshole from Devin Booker. He just has talent out of his fucking asshole. And he drives fantastic vehicles if you haven't seen it. But fantastic.
Oh, yeah, he's got a great collection.
Oh my God, he's got a classic car collection like a motherfucker. It's great. He drives different vehicles.
Beautiful pieces, yeah.
A lot of people would. Yeah, he modifies them a little much, but he just doesn't. There's no dog. Like nobody's seen any dog in Devin Booker. Like it's like that's the problem. Is that's what's missing from their big three. CP3 doesn't have it. Devin Booker doesn't have it. You sure as fucking getting a dog mentality out of DeAndre Ayton. I think CP3 has dog in him.
He has dog.
He's all bark. He's like all bark and no bite. Like he's dog. Yeah. He's dog, but he is all bark and no bite. Like. There's just a lot of like, it's a lot of posturing. I feel like there's like a lot of dudes that are like, hey, I'll come here. Like, I don't know if Devin Booker even we don't know if Devin Booker or DeAndre Ayton really care about the Suns winning. We don't know
that. He said he got a free pass in Boston.
Yeah.
No, and I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that needs to come out for the Suns to really start to find a cohesive unit that needs to be established. Wade, what have you seen from Media Day, man?
I've seen a couple things here. I'm not sure if it directly correlates with Media Day, but I didn't know if you've seen what Marcus Smart said in regards to Ime. He said this was to the Globe, I believe, the Boston Globe. He says, nobody died. I still love Ime as a person and as a coach. He led us to the finals. It's just something unfortunate has happened to him. So he's like, everybody just needs to relax. Like nobody died. Like we still have dudes on this team. Like we're going to be okay. And then another thing, let's see here. I did see another thing. Zion looks ready to go. Guys, I don't know.
Does he?
Oh man, he looks in shape, ready to go. He put down the hot dogs, I think, and hit the gym. They look ready to go. I like the Pelicans. I like the Pelicans right now. They're young. Zion's a stud. Give me Brandon Ingram all day. If you
have Brandon Ingram with a healthy Zion, that team is.
They're scary.
Is a force to be reckoned with.
They're scary, absolutely. And I just want to clarify what Durant said today in Media Day about why I'm still here. Or are you surprised you're still here? He said, I know I'm that good. You're not gonna just give me away. So that's verbatim what he said. And then Tyler Hero's out here making comments saying my offensive skills is set to be one of the best in the league this year. So maybe if he can keep his thing in his pants and not worry so much about the IG and what's going on in the surroundings of Miami, maybe he can have a game.
Wait,
actually leave the bubble, because I don't think he's really played much since he's been in the bubble. So as far as productivity is concerned, so watch out for Tyler Hero.
Watch out for Tyler Hero.
Watch out for Tyler Hero.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Make sure I don't like bump into him or something? Because
I guess he's ready to go.
The white Kyler Murray.
And then of course, because we got to hear from the Knicks. RJ Barrett says the Knicks are ready to shock the world. So give them a little Muhammad Ali, get them all ready to go.
You're right. Keep on shocking them, Knicks. You're doing a great job.
Every year, the Knicks are the Cowboys of basketball.
They are. I don't
the
know
Knicks
why.
Are the Cowboys of basketball. They have not been relevant or competitive since the mid-90s.
True. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Yep.
They're the Huskers of
football and basketball.
Old Nebraska Cornhuskers. Eric Piatkowski. I'm gonna pull out Eric Piatkowski out of here.
I got
Sorry.
Go
ahead.
No, I got one more funny quote from Greg Popovich today. He says, "No one should go to Vegas and bet on the Spurs to win the championship."
Yes. Hey, dude, Pop is the fucking best, bro.
He's awesome.
He's the best. Great. That guy's the fucking best. He's the best. Like there's no there's no filter. Yes. He knows what's going on. I wish that he could go to a situation where it's not like that. But I mean, the guy's in his fucking 70s at this point, dude. He's up there. Like, he's gonna have to split.
Somebody made a point the other day that that Boston should trade for him.
Yes, that'd be fucking awesome. That would
Has anybody ever noticed that Greg Popovich and Craig T. Nelson look almost exactly the same?
They have the same thing. Popovich has a little bit more.
It's that face
scarring.
Yeah.
Popovich is more scarred for some reason. He has many facial scars, which seems weird. Like Popovich's face looks like Mark McGuire's neck right here. Like that's what it looks like. It looks like it got stretched out.
If you look at it, Craig T. Nelson and Greg Popovich have very similar faces.
They
do. I think those guys could be related. I legitimately believe that.
Craig looks like Gandalf in hiding. Craig looks like Gandalf just hid from the world. Like he's like trying to
I don't know. He's gotten a lot more scraggly as he's gotten older. I think maybe it's more like Craig looks like what you get when you order Greg Popovich on Wish.
On Wish, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens. Like you order a Funko of Greg Popovich and it comes with Craig's head.
Craig T. Nelson, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to start. Speaking of kind of on that same line, sorry, I had to stop the camera there for a second, guys. I wanted to pull a Stephen Weaver and just urinate on camera, but I had to step out the back door. Love you, Stephen. Love you, Craig. We're just gonna talk shit. We should tag them both in this at the exact an hour 3. Tag both of them in it. Like, yeah, this is where we start talking shit on you guys. Oh, Stephen, dude.
They would both get a kick out of it, bro. All right. So, any other NBA stuff before we move into football?
Did everybody see Giannis said Steph's the best player in the world?
Yeah, he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. No,
Steph's the greatest player in the world right now. Right now, Steph Curry is the greatest player in the world.
I mean,
bro, individually, Steph Curry's never been the greatest player in the world.
Okay, so here's the thing. I want you to think about this without LeBron's dick in your mouth.
No. I'm saying Giannis is the best player in the world right now. I'm saying Giannis Antetokounmpo individually is the best player in the world right now.
I will entertain that because Giannis, I think is number 2. So
bro, do you think
I would entertain that.
Do you think I'm like that unrealistic, like that fucking Chiefs fan you were talking about earlier that doesn't understand that LeBron James is not the best player in the NBA anymore? When it comes to LeBron,
I have to be prepared.
Dude, I know that he's not fucking bro. Like I'm realistic about this shit. He's not the best player in the world anymore.
No,
I know that.
No,
I think he's in the top 6 or 7 in the NBA still, which would be higher than some people would put him. He's 38 years old. What do you expect out of this fucking dude at that point?
He's 38 and putting up better consistent numbers than guys 10 years younger than him.
He's putting up better numbers than guys that have been 10 years younger than him all time. So like, there's no all times. Like I'm not going to sit here and but right now in the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player individually. If you start an NBA, here's how you do it. If you're gonna start an NBA draft, a fantasy draft, and you have the number one pick, you get to take whoever you want out of anybody in the NBA right now. Who do you take?
I would take Steph before I would take Giannis, simply because
right now, 34-year-old Stephen Curry, you would take 34-year-old Stephen Curry for the future of your franchise and individually right now for the next season. If you go next season, like if I go, I have one season, or if I'm going to go, best player in the world needs to be next season. You have him for next year. You get one guy. Who do you take? Just next season, not for 10 years. Because 10 years, you're definitely taking Giannis.
No doubt.
10 years,
no doubt.
You're taking Giannis. But
Sure.
that's I don't think there's a question to that. I think if anybody
that's not debatable at this point.
No, I don't think there is a debate to that. I don't think there is a debate to that. But if you're going next 10 years, yeah. But I'll even say next year, because I think that actually determines who the best player in the NBA is right now. Like who the best player in the world is. I'm still taking Giannis.
And here's the thing. I understand that Giannis has worked on a couple of the flaws in his game that a lot of people didn't expect. He is a better free throw shooter. And he doesn't need to be perfect because of the other things he does on the court. I get that. But overall, I'm still taking Steph over Giannis in that situation.
But I think you're taking Steph because of the team situation that he's in as well. I think that a lot of that is that team's situation.
You take Draymond off there?
You take anybody. That's what I'm saying. Like in a fantasy draft, you don't get any of those other guys. You don't get Steve Kerr.
Okay.
You don't get Draymond. Fair. You don't get any of that shit.
Right.
You just get that guy. You just get that guy. You got to take Giannis.
Just that guy, actually. Yeah, I would take Giannis. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you Giannis. I'll give you Giannis.
Sure. I think KD might be the only actual argument to that. I think if you're going to go number one pick, I think KD might be an argument to that, legitimately. Or I think LeBron James might be an argument to that.
No, I'm not, and honestly, the reason I say no for LeBron is simply because of the fact, just like we talked about, he's 38. But I do think you're right. I think Giannis, KD, and then Steph.
Shoulder load.
KD, if you're going to make the argument for KD, I got to know what the team is like around him.
Exactly.
So it's hard to do. It's hard to pick.
And I think that Steph is another thing for that. Yeah. Whereas Giannis, you can put him on any roster, and he will be a difference maker.
Which makes him, I would say, the best player in the world. On top of the fact that for the next 5 years, if we go at next 5 years draft, like you're gonna have this guy for the next 5 years, you definitely take Giannis Antetokounmpo. There's no outside there. I don't think there's any argument to that at all.
Here's where I would start to hesitate on that and hear me out on this. I know you're gonna kind of look at me funny, but when you look at the next 5 years, I think somebody else who should still be in that conversation is Devin Booker, simply because of the fact that he just keeps getting better. And so, but again, with Devin Booker, he's still going to be like Steph and like KD. The team that he's on is going to make an impact on his effectiveness.
I need a little more consistency there, though.
I need more defense.
Okay.
And that's fair, but I think that this year will be a telling year for Devin Booker, though. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think there's guys that we're definitely forgetting, I think, too. I mean, there's guys that I think we're forgetting. I mean, honestly, if you're going to go next 5 years, I think Ja Morant would get a lot of votes.
Yeah, Ja Morant, for sure.
I think Ja gets a lot of fucking votes just because of what he does for an entire offense. Like, you're lacking some defensively there, too, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you go defense, offense, all-around player, I think it's Giannis no matter what. Anthony Edwards is interesting. I was going to say that, too, actually. Yeah. Anthony Edwards is very interesting. There's a couple of guys, like, honestly, dude, we don't know what Zion Williams is right now.
Dude, Zion Williams, while you were in the bathroom, he looks good this year, man. Pelicans are going to be he looks good. He looks
There's
good.
Gonna be, if you're going next 10 years, Wade, you're gonna get Zion Williamson votes. Yep. Like you're gonna get guys who are gonna draft Zion Williamson very first overall, because dude, that half a season where he just looked fucking dominant. Like 38-8, just fucking 30-12-8, something like that. Stupid.
I have a man crush on Brandon Ingram. I don't know if it's just because I'm a Durant guy and I like that kind of gangly size or whatever, but dude, Brandon Ingram.
The stretch. I get it.
I need to see 60 games plus out of Zion before I can buy it.
That's fair. That's fair.
That is the only question mark.
It is.
And that's the thing.
Is the only question mark.
It's Because if we're gonna take guaranteed health into it, then you have to consider Anthony Davis because he's one of the elite talents in this league if he stays healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's just been discounted because it's been so consistent that he's been hurt.
Exactly. And that's the thing and so that's why, and especially with the fact that he's down in New Orleans, so you're already seeing a parallel between him and AD. Zion, I need to see a 60-game season out of him. Give me one 60-game season. I'm not even going to say a full 82. Give me one 60-game season, and I'll start to look at buying a Zion jersey.
If you're taking, I mean, potential wise, I think that you go Zion or Giannis, obviously. Like
Luka, oh my God,
that's the guy that we're missing, guys. That's the guy that we're missing, and that's such a weird. I knew we were missing something.
Luka goes in the top 5 of that draft.
Oh, he goes number 1 or 2. I don't.
Yeah,
I could see him going. I could see him going after Giannis and KD.
That's the weirdest thing, though. Is like, he's almost like a Kobe type, where it's gonna be like that's like he's gonna dominate, and if that's the type of team that he's on, then that's gonna be your dude. That's the dude. He's gonna be the dude. So like, Luka is a huge one. Yeah.
Luka, hey, Dan, I have a question for you when you get a minute.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was thinking with Luka last year, in the playoffs, when they only had Brunson, that team kind of reminded me of like the mid-2000 LeBron teams, I mean, they did. To me, they did.
That's fair.
I didn't know what your thoughts were on that when you watched them play, but that's what that team reminded me of.
His closest NBA comps are definitely LeBron James. I don't think there's like I think
no, I just meant team-wise too. I mean, like just team-wise, like
right.
From 06 to 08, and they had like fucking House, or that Snow or whatever. And,
Eric Snow, and Anderson Varejao.
Yeah, Varejao.
Anderson Varejao.
All those dudes. Yeah, just team-wise. I mean, it just seems like Luka was doing it all last year. I mean, Brunson had his moments, obviously, because he got a bag, but
they're
absolutely.
And I want to make sure I'm remembering the right team because I'm too lazy to look it up right now. Denver. Luka's in Denver, right?
Luka's at Dallas.
Dallas. Okay, that started with a D. Dallas. Yeah. Dallas.
The Jazz and Nuggets and Mavericks seem to get mixed up. Sorry, go ahead.
Dallas needs to put more talent on that roster.
1,000%.
Just because here's the thing, there is a lot of comparison. I think it's accurate to have comparisons like Luka's almost a white Kobe Bryant, because that his mentality and his clutch gene and his skill can elevate a below average roster. So
he's a white LeBron James. He's what he is.
He's a white Kobe, white LeBron. Absolutely. He's one of those that he elevates everybody around him. And so if you put average NBA talent, the rest of those guys are average, just elite Luka. You have a couple of those guys that look like all-stars on top of Luka or next to Luka, and they are a 3 or 4.
7. I'm glad you said that because Wade's going to agree with me 100% on this. Here's where you're going to get hit with most people who are on any kind of LeBron James bandwagon. Here's where you're going to get hit with. I don't think Kobe Bryant ever elevated his teammates. I don't think Kobe Bryant ever made anybody around him better. I think Kobe Bryant was so fucking good that he could drag people with him. It's clear that LeBron James has made people that aren't as good actually better by his gameplay and the way that he plays the game.
You're right. And I think that's what kills Kobe from the GOAT conversation. And I think that's actually legitimately because for intellectuals like us that actually watch the game of basketball, if somebody says that they think Kobe is the GOAT, you don't throw that away. Like it is not a horrible take to say Kobe is the GOAT. But the reason that most intellectuals are going to discount that when they actually break down the players is because Kobe was just that guy. He did not, but you look at guys like Jordan.
You could argue that Jordan was always that guy though too. Like
Jordan was always that guy,
but he was that guy so much that it made him the GOAT.
It elevated Jordan's presence, still elevated those Bulls rosters. And
right,
like Larry Bird elevated those Celtics rosters. He wasn't the only one, and there was more talent on those rosters than some teams, than what Luka has. But Larry Bird still elevated that roster with his leadership ability. You got to give Luka more to work with, and I guarantee you that is a deep into the playoffs team.
It is. It
1,000%. Yep.
And also his gameplay is changed by the fact that he doesn't have anybody else on the team. So like you gotta realize like if he doesn't have anybody else, then his gameplay is obviously changed. You give LeBron James a couple of good players and he wins 2 titles in a row. That's like literally that's what happened. Like it's literally just what happened. He went to Miami. He had a couple other Hall of Famers and it was like, oh yeah, good championships, got it. Like that's the thing. Was like
that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, and so it's that good. Like I think if you put Luka Doncic on the, let's see, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a team. If you put Luka Doncic on the Celtics,
that is an NBA Finals team. That's a sweeping whoever they face NBA team.
Titles. You put Luka Doncic on the Miami Heat right now. Titles.
Yeah,
titles. Like just any.
And I bet you that if Dallas made Luka available, Miami would grab him super quick too. They have tried to make some moves. To Miami's credit, they have tried to make some moves to build up that roster by going for these superstar elite talents. They fought for KD. It just you can't give enough for KD. You just can't. Just like you talked about.
Right.
Plus, I mean, Spoelstra and Pat Riley. That management and everything is fucking great. Like that. I mean, with Kidd and Cuban and fucking Dallas, like that upper management's good. Like is good. Like I'm not gonna say it's great because we don't know what Jason Kidd really is as a coach. Honestly,
it's not as structured as Miami though. I can
no.
Yeah.
They just have so much structure. Miami, they can make it to a fucking NBA Finals and get fucking crushed by the Lakers in 2020.
Yeah.
Like without as much, they didn't have that much time. Like Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Butler can get you through the East with all that structure and all that, and bam.
Yeah.
But like but it's just like if you
they don't
add
need high caliber named role players to get it done. I mean,
no.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird because I think Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coach and. Dean, why do I call him Dean? Dude who still says does college football on the show on the intro. Why can't I think of his name? Dude who was just with us. We don't say his name anymore. Apparently, that's what Will says. Sorry, Will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but he basically said that Eric Spoelstra is like the best coach of like the generation, and I was like, that's not actually a bad take because
I don't think it's 100%, but it's not a bad take. It's an inaccurate statement, but it's not a bad take.
I know what he did. He put him in the best of all time because we were talking about Phil and Pop were the two like goats of coaching, and he put Spoelstra's name in there, and we were like, not of all time. I'll give you the best of the last 15 years. I think Eric Spoelstra is the best coach in the NBA probably the last 10 years.
He deserves his flowers, especially after you have the big 3 there. I mean, really. I mean,
right.
It's
what he's done with that. Yep.
He is a decent coach. I'm not gonna, and I'm not gonna. I will not say that he's a bad coach. Because I don't believe that. But I don't know. I mean, over the last 15 years, I'm still putting Pop. I would still put Pop ahead of him. Is he close? Is he in the conversation? Yes, but I still think that there are coaches that edge him out overall.
I said Dean. I said Dean. It's Gene. Is Eric Spoelstra the best of top 5 of all time?
Well,
top 5 of all time?
No, not all time. Like the last 15 years.
100%. I think he's up there in the top
3 5 in the last 15.
Yeah, 15 years. Yeah, 15. Yeah.
He's only like 46 or something. Like he's got a long way to go.
He has the ability to get up there for all time, but right now he's not there yet. I think I need to see a couple more titles. I think you see a couple more titles. Maybe one of them is just very, very. At least one of the next couple of titles that he gets in his career is a very decisive season and win. Like he just plows their way through it. Then
like every time I think of Pat Riley now, I just think of Adrian Brody from the HBO show.
Yeah.
Adrian Brody played young Pat Riley. I loved it. That was great. I'm like, oh shit, he does kind of look like him. Without that, I mean, that schnoz is like a whole different level though. Like Adrian Brody's nose is like a whole different level. It's like a fucking toucan.
I'm pretty sure there was a Family Guy cutaway about that at one point. Adrian Brody's nose.
Yes, there was. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought
there was.
Okay, all right. Anything else on the NBA before we transition to football?
No.
Okay.
Go Lakers. It's gonna be a shit show.
Right. Let's go with the huddle. Fuck the Lakers. All right. A lot going on for week 3 action right now. The Giants and the Cowboys are still playing. The Cowboys are up on the Giants, and it looks like the Cowboys may have just caught a huge pass, possibly that may have been an interception for the game. We'll see what happens. A lot happened this week, though, in the realm of football. We saw Willie Gay get suspended for 4 weeks. And that started this week, and the Kansas City Chiefs did miss him. We'll talk about that game here in just a second. I'm just trying to actually get all of the damn scores up in front of me. Cowboys are up on the Giants right now, 23-16, minute and 17 seconds left. And let me see here. Thursday night game, Browns beat the Steelers 29-17. Jacoby Brissett, 21 for 31, 220 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb had 23 carries for 113 yards. And Amari Cooper, 7 receptions for 101 yards for the Browns in their second win of the season. Bears beat the Texans 23-20. Davis Mills, I like Davis Mills. He was 20-32, 245 yards and a touchdown. Titans beat the Raiders, who are the only 0-3 team in the NFL. Titans beat the Raiders 24-22. There were some rumblings this week that Donaldson's job may be on the line. Wade, what do you think? You think they're already looking at sending him packing? What do you think's going to happen?
That's an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, you got Carr out there, and you just paid a bag to Adams. You're talking about the Raiders, right, Tony?
Yeah.
I didn't really expect much out of them coming into this year, even though they had Adams. So it doesn't really surprise me, but I think it's a little too early yet. Let's pump the brakes on that a little bit.
You think it's still too early?
I think it's still too early.
What do you think it takes for them to start thinking about that during this season? What do you think has to happen for them to just give up on McDaniels?
Man, I'm trying to look at the schedule right now.
I think it takes. I think it takes a lot. I mean, I think it takes a lot for them to give up on Josh McDaniels. I mean,
yeah, I agree. Yep.
You should give him his shot. I mean, obviously he had 2 of them before that he just kind of just never even tried.
Just one, right? Wasn't it just Broncos?
I thought it was 2. Okay. Then he actually got hired on, but I think there was a lot of. But yeah, I think
he got hired and then he didn't take it. Right? There was one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was.
Okay, I can't. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so he had a couple of shots where he just went back to. He was like, "Oh, safe place, New England."
Tom Brady, you got to go back.
Tom Brady. I have Brady and Belichick in the best situation ever. Oh my god! And he just ran back.
Sorry, Tom, do you need me to hold your nuts while you pee?
He's like, yeah. He's like that. He's like that kid that wants to jump off the rock at the lake, and he doesn't ever do it, but he sits down. And he's like, nope, can't do it. And then he finally did it with the Las Vegas Raiders. So good for Josh McDaniels. He jumped off the rock. He sat down first and kind of rolled off like a fat kid and plugged his nose. He definitely plugged his nose when he was going down, but he was plugging his nose and going in there. And he's plugging his nose and going in there. And he took the leap. So good for him. But
I don't know what history says on that though, because when he was with Denver, they had they had a decent QB and they got a good receiver there. And the same thing here in Vegas, and I don't know.
This is still a better roster than what he had in Denver, but the fact that they're starting 0-3, you see, what is the problem with the Raiders right now? Is Carr the problem?
I don't think he's that good. I don't think he was ever that good. I mean, that's just me though.
Dan, we think.
Josh McDaniels has such a coordinator personality though too. Like he has that quintessential like coordinator personality. Like what was it like when they were like, "Oh yeah, this is your head coach now"? It almost seems like he's an interim head coach all the time. Like he doesn't have like the head coach personality to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
seem like it. No,
it doesn't. Like Dan Campbell. Like if you guys
in those meeting rooms just to see what he's like.
Exactly, like Hard Knocks.
Right.
Like Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched that. Like Dan Campbell. That motherfucker has a head coach personality, bro. Like that guy is a fucking like he does speeches and you're like exactly.
I want Dan Campbell to go into stand-up comedy after he gets done coaching football because I would go see every fucking show he is doing comedy at near me. I don't care if it's the same goddamn jokes. I just like watching that man talk.
He's like tied into Hulk Hogan. Just fucking come on, brother. Like he's just another brother. Like, yeah, brother.
Oh, man.
And and I think that's why we're seeing results out of Detroit because he's just he's so damn motivating that you can't help but support that team, him and just, you know.
I want him to do well just for that.
Yeah.
From that standpoint. Yep.
And they played they played the card with him, like the grit card, like grit, bro. Like just getting down to it. Like the whole theme was like their grit thing and like it's just he's so good and he wants it so bad and like you can't not fucking play hard for him. The thing is they just don't have any good players. Like, oh yeah, sorry.
St. Brown though.
They have good players. They have some good players in Detroit. They have Jared Goff as their quarterback. That's really the issue. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's
the whole time they have Jared Goff.
I would even say if they had been smart enough to not go for Goff and to maybe trade for Jimmy G, I think they are a better squad because we look at them. It was 28
after last night. You want Jimmy G?
I mean,
he fits better.
Listen,
than
I think he fits better. But I mean, you look at Goff. Here's the thing: Goff was 25, and we'll talk about that match next, I guess. Vikings 28, Lions 24. Jared Goff was 25 of 41 with only 277 yards and one touchdown. That Lions roster is quietly like one of those like good Moneyball rosters. That's how I would describe a large chunk of that roster. But when you have guys like Jared Goff, who, yes, he's only thrown two interceptions so far this season, and he's only been sacked 4 times. I think the sacks are more on your on the protection that he's getting because that line is quietly very, very good. But he's only got a 58.9% completion percentage. And, you know, yes, that's better than I can do. I will take ownership on that. Let's be real here.
What are we comparing? Like, why are we comparing it to you?
That's Kyler Murray numbers, man. You're not going to win. You're not going to be a Super Bowl. You're not going to be a playoff competitive team with Kyler Murray numbers like that when you have a good coach.
Without looking at
does he just want to go to the MLB? I
told you. If they don't replace Cliff Kingsbury in Arizona, I would not be surprised to see Kyler walk.
I told him to. He's going to play center field for the Yankees here in a couple of years. For real. He's going to be fucking.
Is that who they're going to get to replace Aaron Judge when he leaves for another team?
Wow. For the Giants? Yeah, I heard about that. Don't lay that on me right now. Right? I don't need to think about that right now.
We got to get to 61. Come on, Tony.
We'll get to 62, and then we'll think about him leaving for San Francisco, okay? Then we'll decide. Then we'll decide if we don't want to pay him $500 million because we can get better players for – no, without looking, both of you, who has the best quarterback rating in the NFL right now?
Close. It's either Tua or Lamar.
Lamar motherfucking Jackson.
Pay that man. Pay that man his money.
Pay that man his money.
But they also need to give him some targets.
He beats me straight up. Pay that man his money. Yeah.
Mark Andrews, though, he had himself a day. He had himself a day. He had himself a day, though. Yeah.
No, you're right. Mark Andrews is a stud, but he needs at least one more. He needs a good slot receiver and a good deep threat. And I think we see Lamar Jackson have an MVP season.
I thought Bateman was going to play a little bit better than he has so far this year.
I think they did too.
I'm kind of waiting to see on that a little bit, but
Rashad, make my rookie cards worth something. Good, Rashad. Make my rookie cards worth something.
Maybe that's just something that he has to just find his way in and get going on. But I think Rashad Bateman could definitely be a difference maker.
Bro, you're not gonna have a 100 reception, 1,500-yard year with Lamar Jackson as a wide receiver. You're not gonna do it. If you're trying to do that shit, go somewhere else. Have a Hines Ward type of year. Have 80 catches for 900 yards and fucking make a few blocks. And like when Lamar goes fucking joystick mode, make a fucking couple of blocks and make yourself better that way. Like, you're not going to have 115 catches with this dude. He ain't going to throw the ball that much. It's just not going to happen.
Do you want 125 catches or do you want an AFC Championship game appearance?
Exactly.
That's the difference.
Catches, though. I mean,
Yep. Like,
got to adapt.
You've got to, I understand wanting to put up numbers, but it's a team game. You can't win a Super Bowl by yourself. Tom Brady didn't win any of his Super Bowls by himself. He actually had to rely on his team every time. He doesn't throw the passes and then run his big ass down there and jump up and stretch his model-esque body.
We've all seen Tom run.
Looking like a drunk drawn Kevin Bacon to catch a fucking touchdown in the end zone. No, he needs Edelman. He needs Gronk. He needs Moss. Belichick.
He needs Belichick.
He needs those pieces.
He clearly only needs Belichick.
So Belichick needs Tom.
Belichick needs
I think Belichick needs Tom a little bit more than Tom needs Belichick.
They were packed. Belichick needs Tom more than Tom needs Belichick, but they need each other.
They need each other.
Yeah, they do need each other.
They clearly don't need each other though, because Tom didn't need him. He had
if you have that Tampa Bay roster with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick instead of Bruce Arians, I think they have 2 Super Bowls.
Possibly. I mean, that's,
I have a question. Is Leftwich hurting the Bucs right now? Like, is that's I don't know, from just what I'm seeing, like, is that Tom's offense? You know what I mean? Like, is this Tom's offense that we're watching, or is this Leftwich's offense?
Do they still think that Tom can do what he did 2 years ago?
Well, true.
Right?
Which
I'm saying,
right.
Which the answer might be no to that.
Correct.
And that little area of absence or whatever where he was real weird about. Like, it wouldn't even have been weird to anybody if he wasn't real weird about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, it's super weird. Yeah.
It's almost like if your buddy like jumps down your throat if you ask him a question. You're like, what? Why the fuck did you get super jumpy just now? Like now it's an issue. Like, and Tom got super jumpy. Right? Tom got super jumpy with shit, right? Like, and you're like, okay, well, what was it about? But it could have not been anything, and Tom just could have been pissed about like somebody even asking him why it was an issue, because he's never, clearly never had issues with that kind of shit.
And I feel bad for him, because any man when they don't know how to move on from what they've done their whole life and into the next phase of their life,
it's like
that's a difficult mental.
I mean, really,
it is. It's like Favre. But I mean, for those of you, to even make it a more simple thing, think about that friend that you have that spent their entire 20, 25 years in the military. And then all of a sudden they're forced into retirement. They got to come home. They got hurt. They hit their 20 years, whatever it was. They are no longer in the military. Now they are trying to adjust to civilian life. They are fucking lost. They try to get a government job or they try to get like a contractor job so they can at least feel like they're in that same area again. And at least be somewhat adjacent broadcasting for NFL players. Tom literally doesn't know how, and that's what's killing his marriage. And I feel bad for the dude, because that's hard.
Wait, I don't know if you watched it, but me and Tony had friend of the show, friend of ours, Derek Ross, ex-NFL player, he's the all-time leading rusher in the Arena Football League, on our show a couple weeks ago. And he was, dude, and I don't think Ross would mind me saying this. he's clearly lost. And he said this on air. He said that I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, he's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Cause he was this guy for so long and he doesn't know what he's supposed to do now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was his profession. And unfortunately you can't do that profession until you're 70, like most other professions, right? You can't just do it till like he can't do it anymore. So he's having it, you know, it's hard to transition from that to doing something else. You know,
I'll go get it here in a second to show as we continue this. I found out, you know, like, you remember the picture that D. Ross shared on his Facebook with the arena football game on Xbox.
Yeah,
I have it.
Oh, really?
I have that game. I have it. So because I have my Xbox, I just don't have a
I loved that game. That game was
sick. He's on the cover.
Yeah,
the guy that's on the cover of that game.
Shit.
That's Derek Ross.
Yeah, that's our friend.
Yeah,
Shit,
we're talking about.
He's
super cool,
the Derrick Henry
cool fucking dude, man. He's super fucking cool.
And like,
shout out to me,
I missed that one. Yeah,
and he just does it like, but he just like he clearly like he said on the show he doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing because like he came out of the arena of football and he played for the Chiefs for a second and like he doesn't know what like that's who he was and then he
that's what he's done his entire been his career
and he's a young guy. He's a young man. Like,
he's
you know what I'm saying?
Older than us.
Yeah, he's a young man. He's still in the prime of his life, and he just switched out of a profession that takes you into a completely different level of like, you know, that profession takes you into a completely different level, and he just doesn't. It's almost like it's not a fall. It's just like such a change up to what he's like. What am I supposed to do now? You know, like what am I supposed to do?
It's a shock. You know, it's a shock for like, and like that's why I compared the military option because. You know,
that was a good comparison, Tony. It really was.
You know, a lot of people don't think about the difficulty and why we see so many veteran suicides. One of the biggest peaks in veteran suicides is that first year after they get out of the military or when they come home from being injured. That's because that adjustment period is so hard for those individuals. And it's not the only time. It's not the, you know, but it is the most common. Some even, you know, just a few months out, it's happening. Like it's just that first year is that most crucial point. And with NFL players, professional basketball players, professional baseball players, you spend 35 years where that is all you do day in, day out. Get up, train, play, get up, train, play. With just a little bit of off time every year before you get back into that same cycle. It's like the military for them. Entertainment military is being a professional athlete.
And a huge part of it too is like that being seen in the public eye as well. You know, like when you're playing, you're seen in the public eye, you're noticed, you're recognized on a regular basis, right? And then when you're not playing, it's like now I'm just a normal member of society, which can be a huge change. That's such a huge change from what you're used to. It's like it can be debilitating at some point. So
okay, all right, we got lost in convo. We need to keep going here.
I got a dick of the week, by the way.
We'll talk. We'll do it. Colts, like we talked about, Colts beat the Chiefs 20-17. Special teams killed the Chiefs yesterday. Plain and simple. Dolphins beat the Bills 21-19.
I'm on the train. Man, I'm on the Tua train, man. I'm on it.
He has found a second year in that arm, and he's starting to get some distance. And I know I said that team is a quarterback away from a Super Bowl, and I have not changed my mind yet. But if he stays consistent, I might have to eat my words.
You don't need elite arm strength to be a good quarterback in the NFL. That's been shown clear by many dudes. But like Drew Brees never had elite arm strength.
With that roster, for it to be fully effective, especially when you look at Tyreek as your wideout, as your deep threat. If he can't consistently hit that deep spot, what's the point in having Tyreek Hill? Because I'm saying like make so many adjustments.
But you don't need elite arm strength to hit deep balls. You need accuracy to hit deep balls. Like he doesn't have to throw it 70 yards in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like elite arm strength, yeah, he can make these throws.
Drew, it still takes strength to throw that ball 70 yards.
I'm saying he doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to do that with Tyreek Hill. He really doesn't. Like Tyreek Hill can run routes. Tyreek Hill's a good route runner. Tyreek Hill can be a Tyreek Hill doesn't need to run fucking flies the whole time. Like Tyreek Hill can run normal routes, and he has
Tua yards you need. Yeah.
Tua obviously has a strong enough arm to be an NFL quarterback. Like Drew Brees has never had an elite arm. Drew Brees is the all-time passing yards leader. Drew Brees has never had a fucking elite strength arm.
Yeah.
So and I don't even think it is to be dink and dunk. Like Drew Brees threw the ball down the field. He threw the ball down the field. It's just The difference between throwing the ball 55 yards in the air and 70 yards in the air, I don't think is that big of a difference. Like, obviously, these out routes and stuff, these short routes where you can throw, like, opposite hash to the sideline, opposite sideline, that's a big league throw. Okay. They don't need to make him do that. Like, Miami's offense doesn't need to be based off opposite side hash sideline throws. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't need to do, like, you put him in the right situations, and Tua Tagovailoa has fucking great accuracy. He's a great accurate quarterback. He's
you
smart.
saw that you saw that in Alabama too.
And his mind can slow down. He seems like he's out there and everything is slower for him at this point, which is what you want.
Better. Yeah.
So, like, but when you get that combined with the fucking elite talent, you get Patrick Mahomes, right? But like,
yeah.
But if you just have one of those things, like Tua just seems like everything's slower. It's not as slow as Pat, because Pat looks like he's back there in fucking slow motion. Looks like everybody else is just going fucking slow-mo, and he's just back to like, oh yeah, let me pick out which one I got here. Like, he's playing fucking Madden on rookie.
I'm sure we're gonna hit it, but that sidearm throw, I mean, I know it's commonplace now, but good God.
It's not. It's not commonplace. I mean, it is, but it's not.
It's commonplace for Patrick Mahomes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the sidearms and the shovel passes. Like, it just speaks to the genius of Andy Reid. That's what it is. Okay.
Is it though?
Is it?
I think some of that, a lot of that is scheming. And Andy, because here's the thing: how many quarterbacks?
Throw, though. I mean,
right, but here's the thing: how many quarterbacks with the kind of ability that we see that Patrick Mahomes has, that start to have that budgeting? Won't even say it's all the way there. Just it has the potential to be there. Coaches train that out of them. They don't want them to do that stuff. Patrick Mahomes, because they talk about it, anytime he starts to break out and do these things that you don't normally see, they say, oh, he's not supposed to do that, throwing across his body to the other side of the field. That's because coaches coach that stuff out of him. He just didn't listen. He just figured out where to use it and made him shut up about it.
Sure, but there's not many guys who can make that throw, period. Like, the execution of that throw is way harder than the actual drawing up the play. Because I can sit here and have Josh Allen theoretically as my quarterback for an entire fucking playbook, and I'll make you a playbook that'll win. But it's like, you got to it has to be execution. 90% of it, I think, is execution.
But the part of that execution comes from doing it. And he's doing that stuff in practice. They talk about how he does the behind the back and the no-look throws in practice. He is practicing that stuff. Most coaches are like, hell no, I don't want to see that. They coach that out of those players.
Right.
That's a problem.
But to make it accurately in a game, there's not many dudes in the history of the NFL who could even do that, though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because they're not allowed to practice it, though. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think that Patrick Mahomes just kind of has a different level of talent. I think you might be giving Andy Reid a whole ton more credit than he deserves.
He does have a different level of talent. But what I'm saying is, coaching impacted that ability, because if he goes to Chicago, Patrick Mahomes does not become the same quarterback he is now in Kansas City. I guarantee.
He's still fucking really good, though. Like, he's still upper echelon good, though. Yeah, he doesn't make like these flashy. He's not like that flashy, like, holy shit, he made a sidearm across his body throw.
But that's the difference. That's Patrick Mahomes. That's what I'm saying. Those across the body, the no-look passes, the behind the back. That's Patrick Mahomes. And most coaches will coach that out of the player rather than let them do it in a game.
So you're giving Reid credit for not telling him not to do it, for not like sticking to his guns and saying that's never going to work. I understand that. Like, that,
he doesn't give credit for letting Pat be himself. Most coaches don't do that to players, and that's what I'm saying.
Pat as himself as an NFL quarterback, no matter what fucking coach, was going to be a fucking stud, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think you might be
above average, but I don't think he's
going to be an elite quarterback regardless of who his coach is. Regardless of what situation he goes to, he's going to be elite.
It's situational.
It's situational. It is.
Who's more talented? Who's more talented than Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback in the NFL right now? I'll give you Josh Allen. That's really the only argument I think you have is
that would be the only argument. Yeah.
Right. But Patrick Mahomes, but Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes' success, part of that is coaching. Coaching has an impact on these players. This isn't like the NBA where they don't need coaches. That has an impact on it. If you put him, like, for example, if you put Patrick Mahomes, let's say we take Trevor Lawrence out of that situation in Jacksonville, and we put Patrick Mahomes with Urban Meyer as the quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is not the quarterback we see today.
He's not.
You're right. Fucking see it.
Correct. But to say that he would be just above average, is ridiculous.
Because
he would be
what makes him so elite is those things that he does that are outside of the normal. The behind, the cross the body throws, the shovel passes. I don't think, and yes, he may do them sometimes, but coaches on instinct tell players not to do those exact things. You can hear it even in the way that guys like Romo and Aikman react when they're talking about what Patrick Mahomes does. Coaches try to keep them from doing those things that make Patrick elite.
But to your argument, though, if Trevor Lawrence and Patrick Mahomes were switched like that, and you have Mahomes in Jacksonville, we're going to see at least one no-look pass out of Patrick Mahomes still in Jacksonville.
And a sidearm.
And some sidearm throws.
A couple of things.
We've seen zero from Trevor Lawrence.
Right. But my point is also, we see Urban after the game going, it was great, but it's not something we want to see very often.
But you're still going to see
it. Whereas Andy is like, I love it when he does that. We love seeing Patrick show himself out on the field.
He encouraged
That's the difference that I'm talking about.
Yes, which made it yes. You're correct, but to say that Patrick Mahomes would just be above average, I think is ridiculous. I think that
because those things that he does that we don't normally see, I think that's where his elite piece comes from, because does them and he does them well. I will give you that not every quarterback can do those things as well as Patrick Mahomes does, even with coaching.
No.
I will give you that. But most coaches, and I guarantee you Urban Meyer would have been one of them in that example, they're going to try and coach that out. And so we don't see that as much of an instinctual response as we see from him here, because Andy is like, be you. I want you to do this first. But if that isn't there, go have fun.
I'll tell you what part of your argument that I love, Tony, and it's this. What part of your argument that I love is like, we need to put more emphasis on the situation that the players are in. Yep. And make that about their talent as well, because I think that it's like people just discounted Trevor Lawrence immediately. They were like, Trevor Lawrence. Oh, by the way, Trevor Lawrence, 103.1 quarterback rating this year.
Yeah, he's
immediately better.
He's much more.
He looks way better. Yeah. 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 70% completion percentage.
It helps when you have a coach that's not groping 21-year-olds.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. So like, I get what you're saying. So like, that's what I love about your argument is that. Yep. You're saying situations matter a ton, and they do. They 100% do. But
Matt Stafford is a
Mahomes
prime example.
Fair point, Tony. Yeah, that's
Matt
true.
Stafford is a prime example
of
how important situation and coaching is.
He doesn't have Patty Mahomes talent, though.
He doesn't. But if a guy like Matt Stafford can get 12,000 passing yards in Detroit, and is immediately a Super Bowl winning quarterback in LA, there is talent there.
It was more than 12,000, by the way. It was like 60,000.
Or like whatever it was.
Think about it. People thought when he was in Detroit, they shouldn't have extended him when they did. And then look at it.
He has some. Doesn't he have the most passing yards of any active quarterback outside of Tom Brady?
I believe so.
Something like that.
It's over 60,000.
It's stupid numbers.
Insane.
And that's the thing. That's my emphasis on the importance of coaching. Dallas has struggled a lot with coaching in their lineups, despite having good lineups multiple times. Dallas has struggled because Jerry Jones can't draft players and can't pay coaches.
And he also, like, Dak Prescott is not that talented of a quarterback. I'm sorry. Per NFL quarterbacks, I don't think Dak Prescott is even in the top. I don't think he's in the top 50%. I think that he's in a talent-wise, I think he's in the bottom 50%, and he got paid $75 million last year. And that's literally, he should not.
That's business acumen, not talent, that forced that to happen. He
Dallas.
Knew they were going to have to.
That roster's fantastic, actually, dude. If you look at it, for a second there with Dak, that roster was awesome. Like, I think it still is pretty fucking good. Like, that defense is fucking good. Like, Travion Diggs and Mike
second one in a row.
So how much of that is Dak Prescott? Like D Ross, like Derek Ross was saying, dude. Derek Ross hates, huge Dallas fan, hates Dak Prescott. I love it. Like, he just fucking hates him. Like, just cannot stand him. And I'm like, dude, I get it. 100%. I'm like, I can see it. Like, with that roster, dude, like, that is fucking ridiculous that you can't win. Like, you can't win the NFC least with that roster. Dude, that's ridiculous, bro. Like, just win 10 games. Just win fucking 10 games. You get like 1 year.
Mac Jones threw 3 touchdowns in the 37-26 Patriots loss to the Ravens on Sunday. Lamar Jackson had 11 carries for 107 yards. As we talked about, Lamar Jackson is leading 3 of the big 4 categories for quarterbacks right now. And just crushing it. So congrats to Lamar Jackson. Bengals won 27-12 against the Jets. Joe Flacco did not go down without a fight, though. Throwing he was 28 of 52 with 285 yards and 2 picks.
He looked good early. He looked good most of the day. He tried.
He did. Yeah. But the Bengals scored 14 points in the first quarter, and they've really recovered from that. So I think
they really need to get that offensive line, man. Now that you got that indoor practice facility and you got your stadium, you get money from your stadium. Get that boy an offensive line. He's going to end up like Andrew Luck.
He's exactly right.
It's sad. I don't know if you guys caught that, but on the Pat McAfee show, Pat McAfee was literally telling him, like, hey, like I played with Andrew Luck. Like, you need to start sliding, dude. Like, you got to start protecting yourself or you're going to end up exactly like Andrew Luck. Like, you might not look at it now. Like, you think you're young and all this and it's all in front of you, but like, have some perspective, dude. Like, I watched it with my own eyes.
Like, right. Yeah. And Namath did the same time. I mean, Namath did the same kind of thing. Like, that was kind of like, in the closest comparison to Joe Burrow has been Joe Namath the whole time, just because of the flash and the fur coats and all that shit. But like, Namath kind of did the same thing. Yeah. Namath flared out because he was getting the shit beat out of him. Namath was getting the shit beat out of him for a while. And like, he was just like, I'm young, bro. I'm young. Fucking, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And like, it doesn't happen that way. You're in the fucking big boy leagues now. This is not LSU anymore, man. Like, you're gonna get fucked up. Like, these guys are out to hunt your fucking head, dude. This is the big leagues. This is the big leagues.
Joe Burrow better send Pat a Christmas basket, I think, because I think you start changing because you're starting to see it more, though. You're starting to see him slide, trying to get out of bounds, stuff like that. I think it's really going to help him prolong his career. But if you're Cincinnati, get that guy a damn line. Holy shit.
And go watch some Tom Brady tape. Go watch some Tom Brady tape on how he protected himself.
Yeah, it's such a waste of that talent to not have a good line. It baffles me how they have it.
How much of you in Baltimore is going like this, though? If you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, how much of you is going like, Lamar, yeah, okay, you're doing great. Like, please don't get hurt. Like, please don't get hurt. Like, every play's like, please don't. Yeah, like, I don't know how you're not doing that, because like, it just seems like you're going, fuck, oh god, don't.
You're on pins and needles every week.
Every single week, like, fuck, when's he going to be out for 7 weeks?
Jalen Hurts had a game.
They got some dogs.
24-8. Skip Bayless looks to be correct on Jalen Hurts as well. 22 of 35, 340 passing yards, and 3 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts has only thrown 2. Hold on. Jalen Hurts has only thrown 1 pick this year. Has a 106.5 QBR, 67.3% passing rating. He's already thrown for 916 yards. ESPN projects him out at 51, at just shy of 5,200 yards for the year. Woo. Is this the year we're actually going to see Jalen Hurts start to make some noise and fuck up the NFC East?
1,000%. Yep. They're going to win it. Yep.
I think you're right.
Yep. Devonta Smith, dog.
Absolute dog.
8 receptions for 169 yards.
Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, Devonta Smith. Make my rookie cards worth something.
Sanders that ran for what was that? 15 carries for 64 yards. Not a huge amount of rushing there, but
that's good. That works.
I'll take it.
46 yards, but we're close. We're rounded up. Congratulations.
Baker Mayfield gets his first win.
He dislikes that word.
Panthers win against Panthers get their first win of the season against the Saints, 22-14.
I'm about to eat that loss. I'm gonna eat that loss.
Christian McCaffrey had 25 carries for 108 yards, and definitely starting to come back into his own. Maybe we start to see.
Can we just say the most amazing thing about Christian McCaffrey? He's white.
Yeah.
Holy
He's also
shit.
Injured a lot.
Every time I see him, I'm like, that guy's really fast. White. Holy
That's
shit.
What Josh Allen.
And on the same coin, one of the blackest dudes I've ever seen, Tyreek Hill does not need Patrick Mahomes, by the way. Doesn't need Patrick Mahomes.
Nope.
No.
Also has
I'm
Miami
happy that
tan.
they're both finding success without each other. I think it's great. It shuts people up.
Great Miami tan.
I think the Tyreek Hill Patrick Mahomes divorce is going better for them, respectively, than the Bill Belichick Tom Brady divorce. Baker Mayfield was 12 of 25 in that game for 170 yards. They definitely relied a lot on the run game in that game, but Baker Mayfield gets his first W as a Carolina Panther starting quarterback. And then let's see, what else do we have? Jags beat the Chargers 38-10. Justin Herbert was 25 of 45 for 295 yards or 297 yards and a touchdown.
That boy's got no weapons. I like Mike, but man, they don't have any. Well, Dotson's solid, but man, they just
the problem.
His poor ribs. He got hit a few times. It was a wrap.
The problem the Chargers are going to have is they spent so much time building their roster to beat Kansas City, they forgot to build a roster that beats other teams too.
To beat everybody.
And they lost Bosa. They lost Bosa to a groin. Shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Derwin James is out there just doing everything for that defense. Everything.
Do you have his jersey yet, Dan, or no?
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a signed one. I'm gonna get me a signed one. The 3.
And the Trevor Lawrence had a pretty good game, 262 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Should I come out on
James
the air right
Robinson,
now? And just say that I'm a Chargers fan. I'm a Chargers fan now.
No.
With that Matt Castle or with the Matt Castle jersey in the background?
That's a Sam
Cassell
Chargers jersey.
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
That's Sam Cassell from the NBA. You didn't know that? No, I would.
I know.
I did it. Yeah. Okay. Wade's seen the joke.
Yeah.
Wade's seen the joke.
That's one of our old jokes.
Yeah, it's an old joke. It is Matt Castle jersey. You're right. The bald guy who used to play for the Bucks. Sam Cassell.
Glory days.
Rams beat the Cardinals 20-12, but Kyler Murray did have a better game offensively. 37 of 58 for 314 yards.
He's ready to go play for the Yankees.
He's
ready to go.
He has to play the A's because they have the rights.
Well, I know. I just said that because Dan would like him, so I said that. I know he's the
center field of the Bronx, so he can cry in the. But I got to.
Falcons got their first win of the season against the Seahawks, 27-23. Geno Smith did have a decent day, 32 of 44 for 325 yards and 2 touchdowns. But
Metcalf's catch though, holy shit.
Cordell Patterson, though, of the Falcons was the difference maker. 17 rushes for a mind-blowing 141 yards and 1 touchdown.
Wearing number 84.
I didn't start him either. I was pissed. I didn't start him. I was upset. I was
Kyle Pitts had a good game too. 5 receptions for 87 yards. Good job for him. They can't all be Travis Kelce. That's a good. That's a good day for a normal tight end.
So
as we discussed, go ahead.
In the same breath, you're gonna fucking hype up Andy Reid and downplay the talent of Patrick Mahomes, but then you're going to endlessly defend Travis Kelce, who looks like he parties on a houseboat the other 16 weeks of the year. He looks like he doesn't do shit. And I actually know for a fact that he mostly parties on houseboats in the offseason. And you're going to downplay the fact that he's in the perfect system with Mahomes and Andy Reid. Like, Travis Kelce is not the greatest tight end of all time. Everybody get that out of your fucking minds. He is in the perfect situation. He is in the perfect situation. Oh, all those 1,000-yard receiving years in a row. Oh my God, none of that has to do with Andy Reid's system and how they throw to fucking tight ends perfectly at every advantage.
Tony Gonzalez was the number one target on his whatever team he was on, and still only had 2 1,000-yard seasons. And you're gonna sit there with that slack-jawed mouth of yours and slight Travis Kelce? Fuck you, Dick.
You're also gonna say in the same breath,
Trent Green too. So come on.
You're exactly, and you're also going to say in this generation of the NFL, where you just said that Jalen Hurts is on pace to throw for 5,200 yards. Jalen Hurts, the Alabama quarterback? Question mark? The Alabama quarterback is going to throw for 5,000 yards in a season. That this is the same game as it used to be.
Jalen Hurts is facing the easiest division, the easiest division in football. Yes, Jalen Hurts is going to throw. Could throw theoretically for 5,200 yards.
Stats are different now. There's guys throwing 5,000 yards all the time. There's guys that receive 5,000 yards all the time.
Stats are different than how many 1,000-yard seasons does George Kittle have? Because he's really the only other arguable super talented tight end.
We're going to start that with Garoppolo. With Jimmy Garoppolo as his quarterback for the majority
of the time. If he's that guy, he's clearly the number one target on that team.
Isn't that injuries though too? You know
and we just sat here and said that's all. It's situational. Like, so you're not. I'm just saying you're not giving Andy Reid any fucking credit for Travis Kelce's success, but at the same coin, you're kind of downplaying the absolute greatness of my adopted son Patrick Mahomes and saying that it's Andy Reid who.
No, you can't. No. If you're a Chargers fan, Patrick Mahomes is not your adopted son. You got to take your name out of that.
Adopt him. He doesn't. I love him for who he is as a man.
For free,
not for as my son and as a man, not as for who team he.
Do you get Hunt's ketchup for free?
He does eat a ton of ketchup. I spend a lot of my minuscule salary on buying him ketchup, which I figured was stupid because he makes a lot of money. I was like, why is he buying his own ketchup? And I still buy it. I don't know why.
Can't they just give you vouchers at Hy-Vee and you can just go in and
I don't get shit.
Hey, this is for my son.
Why don't they just send him shouldn't Hunt's ketchup be just sending him cases of ketchup at this point?
He steals my ketchup all the time. I don't even know what he's doing.
You bastard.
I know. Okay.
You're back in your high chair, you little shit.
I also looked up. Yeah, he comes down. He's like, hey, Dad, can I go? And I'm like, you're fucking 27. Go wherever you want. God damn it.
Grow some fucking facial hair.
I'm done with you and your fucking afro.
As we discussed, Packers beat the Bucs 14-12. That was a huge defensive game. Some bad time management. Brady broke another couple of tablets. I think he's on pace to break 17 tablets this year.
Every
not
game.
helping the claim of the durability of the Microsoft Surface tablets.
They are not getting good. They wanted to advertise their durability in this NFL deal, and it's not happening. Tom is an Apple guy. Tom's an Apple guy. Clearly.
And
while also wearing a shirt with a picture of himself on the back saying "Greatness lasts forever." Move on, Tom. It doesn't last forever, Tom. Move on.
Also, it you know what? It muddies the waters when you call yourself the greatest, Tom. Okay, it muddies the waters.
It kind of does. Yeah.
Everyone already hates you. We don't need more people hating you, Tom. Like, you don't need more people hating you. Like, you already kissed your son on the mouth very strangely, and all of us know that. All of us know that you kiss your son on the mouth and your dad in a very strange way. Okay, so that's already
strange way. For Michael Jackson comparisons over here.
Like you're getting close, Tom.
Okay, all right. We really do need to wrap this up. Okay, Broncos beat the 49ers in what was the most disappointing game to happen on this planet since that time I lost a strip Scrabble when I was at church camp. The Broncos beat the 49ers 11-10. Jimmy Garoppolo was 18 of 29 in his first start since taking over for San Francisco. 18 of 29, 211 yards and 1 touchdown. Cortland Sutton really shined for the Packers with 8 receptions for 97 yards.
Broncos.
For the Broncos with a
Broncos Nation.
Broncos country, let's ride. You know,
somebody needs to teach. I was happy after that game was Dan Orlovsky. I mean, you know, he partied into the wee mornings.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think I didn't get to watch any of Dan Orlovsky this morning, but I'm 100% sure that dude has not slept. He is so fucking glad that he is not the only one that has done that now. Oh God,
Dan Orlovsky seems like the guy that's your neighbor. That when you wake up, he talks about how your yard doesn't meet the matching height of his mowed yard at the same time. So he complains about it to you.
What kind of seed do you use?
He's got like mid calf socks on, and he's like over there in his loafers, like talking to you about how your matching heights don't look good to the rest of the neighborhood. That's Dan Orlovsky.
I was standing mower. What do you got? A rider, you pussy?
What are you riding it? I don't even have a self-propelled. I go straight manual. I plug mine in.
And then tonight, as I mentioned, the Cowboys did beat the Giants 23-16. Cooper Rush went 21 of 31 for 215 yards and a touchdown. Tony Pollard finally had a good running game, 13 carries for 105 yards. And CeeDee Lamb did catch a few balls, 8 receptions for 87 yards and a touchdown. So if you are a fan of watching Undisputed, do not watch it tomorrow. Skip is going to be fucking insufferable.
Is it time for the Cooper Rush Linsanity documentary?
Oh, yep, God.
It is the best quarterback on that roster. Best quarterback on the Cowboys roster.
But you know, here's the thing. Cooper Rush could win every game while Dak is out.
Like we're
every game. And Dak is still going to be starting when he comes back. It doesn't matter what numbers Cooper Rush puts.
Because he's a biracial angel.
Okay. All right. So before we wrap up, since Josie isn't here to stop us, Dan, was your dick of the week?
Yes. Josie's not here to stop us. Yay. Dick of the week. Why did he? You know what? I feel like that's a personal hit. Never mind.
It's because you're white.
You cut out dick of the week. It's because I'm white in the street.
Dick of the week got pulled because of the gay agenda. That's what it is.
It is. I mean, I see it. I see it happening. My dick of the week is Panini cards. Panini Card Company. You motherfuckers. I tried to get, you guys reminded me earlier, Mark Andrews. I tried to get a Mark Andrews card with my redemption points. Okay, so when you buy a pack of cards, sometimes you get Panini redemption points inside of them, right? Which are stupid because they don't ever like really honor them. So I tried to get on there to the website and get myself a Panini card. And what do these motherfuckers do? They set like a countdown to releasing all these awesome cards, right? Like Odell Beckham's and like there was a bunch of like fucking Mark Andrews rookie cards. These are really nice cards. And they put them on there. And they put a countdown, so the fucking website basically just shuts down because of all the traffic, and you can't actually get anything. So I'm on there when this countdown comes down. I'm on the fucking site ready to order my cards. I have it in my cart and everything, and I don't think I got either one of them. I still haven't even checked because I'm so pissed off about it.
You trying to buy a PS5 or?
No, trading cards. Like literally, I
was giving you shit. Dan.
All right, so are you buying actual cards or are they digital?
Actual cards, actual physical cards that you go on there and you redeem your points from the packs because they'll give you like packs, and every once in a while you'll get like this little cardboard thing that says like 250 Panini points, right? And then you get on their app and you can build your points up. And I have my points built up to like 1,600, which is a lot. And like you can get on there and you like I think I got the Odell Beckham card, even though it was incredibly difficult. And they told me the site shut down like 8 times. I had to fucking reload like 8 times. And then I tried to get the Mark Andrews rookie jersey autograph. So I got an Odell jersey autograph that I actually got. And then I got a Mark Andrews. I tried to get a Mark Andrews and they're all sold out immediately. Everything's fucking sold out immediately. Within 18 seconds, everything's fucking sold out. And I can't even get to the goddamn checkout screen to pay for anything. Like, fuck you, Panini, for your fucking stupid monopoly over fucking trading cards for one. People need to start buying like anything else than like, but that's all there is. Unfortunately, like they have everything now. They have Prism and all that shit that used to be like Fleer and all that stuff. They have it all. Fuck you, Panini cards. You're my dick of the week. And also fuck you, Josie, because you're always my dick. Ironically.
Wade, you got a dick of the week this week,
buddy? Oh, yeah, I got a dick of the week to the individual who put chewed gum onto my door handle at the gym. Fuck you to that individual. Fuck you. I had to use my bare hands, pull that thing off. What am I doing? Going to carry on gloves in my damn car? Not a weirdo. You just about my own personal driving gloves, fucking asshole.
You should have driving gloves. It impresses the women when you pull out rubber gloves as you're driving. You're like, hey, check
I don't know what kind of women you're dating there, Tony.
Also, they should always be in the back seat or in the cage.
For those of you that are interested, I now run a dating service. You know, I encourage things like making sure you have rubber gloves for when you're driving. It's always a good idea to have limestone, a shovel.
Do you have driving moccasins
in the back of your car? You should always have. Who doesn't have driving moccasins?
I mean, obviously with no tread on the bottom.
With zero tread on the bottom.
You ever seen New Girl? You guys see my driving moccasins? It's fucking great.
Schmidt.
Yes. Schmidt. I fucking love Schmidt.
That's what you see. You see.
I can't find my driving moccasins anywhere.
What we should when we bring you onto the basketball show, what we need to do is we just need to put you through a whole rebranding. You know, just like what Smitch had to go through. No, Wade.
Wade.
We just put you through just a whole rebranding like what Schmidt did.
Yes.
And we'll even make it Danger if you want as your new brand.
Did you just break it to Wade? Did you just break it to Wade that he's like #1 candidate for the basketball show?
I mean, we're at least going to have him as a guest. He can handle talking on cam. Why wouldn't we at least have him as a guest sometimes?
I was going to suggest him as being my counterpart on the show, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, your counterpart. I think he should have higher standards than that.
Obviously,
obviously, we can put him down at the bottom with you for now until we can bring him up to something more.
It's going to be a very Stephen A.
Tony, you said I could barely talk on camera, so obviously,
it's a very Stephen A. Smithy kind of feel. Like I'm basically going to dominate the whole thing, but like.
I'm not going to be your Malik Andrews, you asshole. I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it. Hey, Rachel Nichols, get me a fucking coffee. That's terrible. Hey, JJ Redick, go start your own podcast and make it better than everything that I have ever done, Stephen A. Smith.
God, I love JJ Redick's podcast. It's so
love JJ.
Okay. All right. Final thoughts before we wrap it up. What do you think? Any final thoughts for you, Wade?
Yeah, real quick. Could you imagine if I realize JJ was, what is he, like 36, 37? But if he was actually healthy when he was in Dallas,
right?
That would have been cool. That would have been cool.
Prime in Dallas.
Yeah, prime in Dallas with Luka.
Ooh,
that's yeah.
Another Dallas point. The actual opposite of the leader in receiving yards in the NFL right now. Do you guys know who it is? Ezekiel Elliott with -7. That's my closing thought.
That's great.
Ezekiel Elliott, 2 receptions, -7. Because he ate fucking barbecue all fucking summer, didn't do shit.
And my final thought of the evening is that Dan Quinn was not getting violent in that booth when Buffalo lost to the Dolphins. He was trying to kill a bug.
He was. Clearly. It was on the screen.
He said he had, like, the only time somebody reasonably reacts like that is if they see a spider. So I just think that Dan Quinn saw a spider in the booth and not that he was breaking a bunch of computers and cameras and paperwork.
Dude, I've always just hated Dan Quinn because he used profanity in the Hard Knocks with the Cowboys. He used profanity like unnecessarily, and it always bothers me when people do that. You ever know, like every single thing.
He has an anger problem.
Every single thing was, oh motherfucker, yeah, motherfucker, like motherfucker. This, I was like, dude, you're not even using it like in context to like do anything with. Stop using.
Yeah. He's an asshole, but he knows what he's talking about. So what are you? His name's
Dan. Never dated a guy named Dan because Dan rhymes with man and men jerk off.
Yep, that's a true story.
My girlfriend just in case that.
This is why the couch is
sticky.
Go
Walgreens and get some latex gloves. So
yes,
I'll see you guys later.
Remember, in your car, when you're trying to pick up women, you should always have latex gloves, limestone, and coffee. They love coffee. Bitches love coffee for some reason. I don't know.
Make sure you get a rag that smells like chloroform.
And a rag that smells like chloroform. It's a great pickup line. All right. And for those of you that were joining us live and checking us out after on Spotify and YouTube, we appreciate you.
Like and subscribe, assholes. Like and subscribe.
Yes, definitely. We would love your support.
Sports Report After Dark Thursday.
Sports Report After Dark on Thursday. Winter Meetings will be back next Sunday. And yes, thank you for your support right here on the Sports Report. Have a great night.
The new guy, he's doing great. His likability's through the roof.
And in the driveway is a nice range, 'cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain